What is? Are we on?
Shout out to downtown Glendale.
Yeah, I just got called out for being from Glendale, even though I'm not from Glendale. Yeah. Thanks, Wayne. What's going on, guys? Around the felt here, Poker Ryan Feldman, DD22 so-so.
DD22. What?
However you want to say it.
I'm just really sad I'm not the biggest jokester on Live with the Bike anymore.
Yeah, and I'm here, so you guys got that going for you.
Monkey see, Ramsey do.
So Ryan's just tweeting out that the show's starting, and we'll get it going in a minute here.
Is this in? Oh, JB, Jimmy Bluffett, Jack Bauer, James Bond.
You got all the chat up?
Yeah.
Okay, this one's Twitch. Right.
I love my Twitch. I love my Twitch.
Oh, we got 33.
There, yep, it's Ramsey. Mr. Island. Israeli Ron up in the building.
What's up, Ron? Jimmy Bluffett.
Oh, we get the
What?
The drinks.
we're gonna eat a cookie while we're
What?
We got,
Oh.
we got
This is-
drinks.
Wait,
and a
this is
cookie.
Wayne's. Wait,
What?
wait, why does it say Wayne? Wayne, you got your coffee, right?
Yeah.
Then why do we have two of these?
Because I ordered one.
Oh, which one did you get?
The one that says Ryan.
Oh, and I got the one that says Wayne?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Make
So
that
mine
totally
says
makes
Wayne,
sense.
yours says Ryan. What does yours say?
Ramsey.
No, mine still says Wayne. See?
Okay.
What does yours say? Dude. What does yours say?
Dude.
Wait, what is it? Shout out to Phil Stark. What's mine
Dude.
say? Dude.
What's my coffee say?
All right.
Speaking of which,
Let's get to the nitty gritty here.
Yeah, really boring couple days here in the poker world.
yeah, real
Where's
boring.
the
My tweets, my last tweet is
Nobody cares about
trending.
social media.
Come on, dude. My
Just
last
kidding.
tweet's trending
Your
and
tweet?
went viral. So that's like the most exciting thing.
my left stroke just went viral?
My latest tweet. Hey,
Okay,
move
so
over, dude.
how do you
better
normally
move
do this?
over.
You just take questions from chat?
Oh, did you give me a drink?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we're
where-
gonna do-
Where'd it go? Oh, it's over there. Grab it,
all right.
please.
Well, let me drink this first.
I got Ryan a Crown and Ginger because
Oh.
that's what Ryan drinks. I thought this would be an exciting show for him.
How do
so
you think it
he
mixes?
need a little lubrication.
How do you think Crown and Ginger mixes with cookies and fruit drinks?
It's just great, man.
So one time, there's this restaurant opening in Pasadena, and Asian Molly Bloom was just like, "Yo, Wayne, show up there." And I show up, and guess who's there? Ryan Feldman, Andy's there, Chris was there, and they're like drunk AF. And I
Really?
was like, yeah.
It was a lot of food. It was I told you, David and Edward. I told you about this.
I literally
Yesterday.
walked in.
I was
like,
pretty
I had
drunk,
so
yeah.
many
David and
vodkas. I'm
They
like,
fed
oh
us
my
like
God.
28 shots.
shots.
Wayne even took shots. He will not turn down anything that's free.
Oh yeah, David's restaurant.
I'll turn down downtown Glendale if it's free, but
Oh, his cookie's really good.
Yeah,
Shout out to Starbucks.
amazing.
Gil the plumber's up
Shout
in there.
out, Gil. Miss you, dude.
True ninja,
You need
true
to come
ninja.
out and hang out with us a little bit. On or off the show, it doesn't matter. I miss
I
you.
invited Gil this week. He said no. That guy Ramsey smells.
That's it.
Gil, I
Like,
took a
could be
shower
way
today.
worse. You took a shower? Downtown Glendale.
The cookie's amazing.
I know. Oh my God.
Okay.
It's like porn in my mouth.
All right, so let's just talk about what
Yeah.
happened on Friday, since this is like what all this is about, right?
Well, what happened?
I don't know what happened. Does anything happen?
Is there a way you can replay the hand on here?
No, we're not gonna do that.
Okay.
It's everyone's seen it. Everybody and their grandmothers literally have seen it.
And my latest tweet.
I don't want to go like. I mean, I know we're gonna have to, I guess, but I don't want to go too far into it.
Well, I think you need to.
It's
address
too
it.
late.
I
It's
think-
too late. We already went too
I think
far.
you need to
But,
address the elephant in the room.
But
Oh,
don't
that's
make
what
fun
you
of
call
Wayne
an
like that.
Oh, they call me Dumbo. Snuffleupagus. Snuffleupagus.
You know, obviously it was a really weird situation for me in the position I'm in, as most of you can imagine.
Sure.
It was just, I mean, I honestly think that most people out there don't even know what it would be like to be me in that situation because, you know, if you haven't been in this position where you're producing a show where you're constantly maintaining relationships with these players, getting them to play, making them happy, taking care of them, but also trying to play poker too because I'm a poker player.
Sure.
You know, it's a little weird, and you know the thing is that a lot of these guys don't really understand the difference, and you know a guy like Mike thinks somewhat like, oh, I'm gonna be nice to you, and like you know. Like in some regards, during hands, he'll be like, "Oh,
He has expectations
I'm gonna tell
from
you if
you.
I got there," or
Yeah.
like, "Oh, like I don't want to take your money, but then he randomly goes and bluffs 10K into $900.
And that's okay.
And it's like, I know the mood that he's in that night, and when I sit down at a poker table, I don't want to be treated differently than you or Wayne or Garrett or Dan Zach or or Harry or anybody. Like, I want to be the same as any other poker player. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Like, when I'm not at the table, I want to be the producer. I want to run the show. I want to be the person that's taking care of everybody. When I'm in the commentary booth, I want to be the commentator and the producer. But when I sit down at the poker table, I want to be treated as a poker player. I don't want you to fold to me out of pity. I don't want you to call me out of pity.
Oh, so now you tell me not to fold to you out of pity.
I want to I want to be the same as any other poker player, and I want to show my skills at the table. I want to try to make money. That's why I'm playing at the poker table. It's for two reasons. Is one, to try to make money, and two, to show the people that want to watch me play how I play, and they can analyze my play and they can learn some things from me. They can give me feedback, whatever it is. And those are the reasons why I sit down at a poker table on Live at the Bike. And so when I sit down, I don't want someone to treat me differently, whether it's a player or a floor man or anybody. I want to be treated like anybody else at the table. And
Floor man.
and so, calm down.
Thank
man.
you.
And so, when it happened, it's like, I'm trying to play the hand optimally, trying to figure out the way, how do I make the most money in this hand, The weird part is, before we get
Clearly you did play it the best.
Yeah. The weird part is, for the record, this is the really weird, surreal part. If you for those that you realize this before. So first of all, like a few hands before, Mike said, "I'm leaving on collection."
Sure.
So it was collection, but he had like 4 more hands.
He was going to leave till when it was his big blind. I think he was under the gun.
So he was going to leave on collection,
Okay.
and then I said, "Mike, why don't you just play to your big blind?"
That sounds good too.
So I said, "You get free hands," and I'm like, why not? I want Mike to play as long as we can. I like having Mike in the game, and so that happened. Then it's his last hand under the gun, and I said, "Oh, last hand, Mike, make it a good one." Right? Like, who knew?
He also said, if anyone does anything in this hand, I'm going all in.
Right, he said
that pre-flop.
and that was apparently binding. And then on the turn, he said, if I hit my card, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. So, he had intentions. And so for him to at the end say, I'm joking, it's like, well, like, even though that's not a thing and it shouldn't matter in any situation, like, he clearly wasn't. He'd shoved 10x pot a million times, like at least 4 or 5 times. We found all the clips earlier in the session, and there was one where he had top pair against Andy on a Jack 5, 6, 7 board.
He had Queen Jack, yeah.
He shoved 10K into 300,
Sure.
So he'd been doing this a lot.
It didn't make sense.
He's just randomly spazzing, and and he said, I'm going to go all in, or if you do something, I'm going to shove, whatever. And so on the river, I said, okay, I have a full house here. It's hard for him to have a hand. He either has a backdoor flush
or he missed.
Because he checked flop and called turn, or he missed and he might bet.
Either way, he's probably betting.
And if he checks back, then it's fine because he probably wouldn't call river anyway. Because Mike doesn't really pay off big bets in the river very often. And if I had a full
pot was
house,
small anyway. So
if I had a full house,
if you weigh like the check raise, like to just value betting.
Exactly. Like if he has a flush, right? What?
Are we okay? Are we still online?
No. This is just the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're here.
All right, sorry.
If he had a flush, right, and I check and he bets and I shove, for example, like he might call off, right?
Sure.
If he, had some other hand, like somehow had a full house or something, which he never would, or had a king, which he shouldn't ever, then he might call as well for any amount. But if I just bet, even an overbet on the river, he's going to just call with all of those hands. So exactly.
Clearly,
what you
you're going to get more value from
checking.
raising.
Right. And if he checks back a decent
you didn't
value
have
hand,
to check raise.
like the percentage, the percentage chance that he checks back, like a 10, for example, where he would have called a river bet, that is just such a small thing compared to the upside of playing it differently. So anyway, that's analyzing.
Sure,
It doesn't matter too much. So I checked.
It doesn't really. What really matters is you trying to separate poker producer from poker player and the relationships that you've built with these players.
So he shoves all in, and some people said like, oh, you should have waited a couple seconds, made sure he was with the dealer, he's all in. Yes, but that's not what you're thinking in the moment. In the moment, I'm super excited that I just made an extra 10K and that like I'm about to win this hand.
You're not slow rolling the dude.
Yeah, and I'm not thinking about anything else.
Vegas
I'm so
and the garage
excited
at the
in the moment that he just went all in, and I'm gonna win a hand That is all that's crossing my mind.
Yeah, he shows you King 10.
And so what?
and then he shows you King 10.
Yeah, well then so be it. But
I'm kidding.
And then so I just snap. He shoved his rack in. It's clear. The dealer put the all-in button. It's clear. I snap. I don't want to waste time, and I turn my hand over. And then Mike says, "I'm just joking," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" And at that moment, I'm not thinking in my head clearly enough because it's such a weird thing that's never happened before. Like looking back on it, it was pretty easy. Just say to Mike, like, "No, you're not, Mike. You're not joking. You're bluffing, and you got caught. It's okay. You have to pay up. Like you bluffed many times in the session. You're just embarrassed that you got caught. Sorry, Mike." But in the moment, I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking like, does he really think that he's joking? Is he really trying to say that? I realized afterwards not that it was more of a trying to save money. And so I don't really know how to react, and am I actually supposed to give him his money back?
The whole thing was weird. No, you're not supposed to give him his money back.
Right, but in the moment, I'm thinking, like, if he really does think that he was joking, or is it worth me, pissing him off forever? Is he going to be mad that he doesn't play the show? I don't know.
Yeah, like, you have different things to weigh than other poker players because you have to get the guy in the show.
If it was Garrett
or
Key who this happened to, it's pretty simple. They get the money. They don't really care what Mike thinks, and that's it. It's different for me. So it was really weird. And then, it got a little weirder when everyone started talking and the floor came in and all that. I don't want to get into that too much, but it was a weird moment, and I wish it could have been handled a little bit differently. I wish I could have said some things differently to expedite the process. I wish that it could have been handled like from an executive standpoint differently. There's a lot of things that different people in that room could have done differently to help the process. The important
thing everyone's a genius after the fact.
Right, exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
like people say, "Oh, the floor should have done this. Oh, Ryan should have done this. Oh, the people at the table should have said this."
Everyone's got it figured out a day later.
You don't know what it's like to be in that situation because
no
one ever. Most people have never been in that situation before. I never have. And so anyway, luckily it got resolved, and Mike left, and obviously he's not happy. But I think once people talk to him and he sees what happened, then he's going to realize he made a mistake. Hopefully, if he's thinking rationally, which he wasn't in the moment. It's unfortunate. For the most part, I like Mike. He's funny. He means well. But then things like this happen, and you're like, wait, why is he trying to not give me $10K? The guy's worth a lot of money, apparently. He plays poker all the time. Is he just embarrassed? Does he think he can take advantage of a relationship? I don't know what he's actually thinking.
So these are all the things that are running through your head, like in a split second, right? It's like how you think about a poker hand. Like, is this guy doing this? Is this guy doing that? Is that his intention?
But I mean, but the moral of the story is that we'll all learn from it, and we definitely are not going to be having Mike back on the show.
So you've made that decision then?
He's,
okay. I think people are waiting to hear.
Yeah, he's indefinitely suspended, so to speak, from the show. I haven't reached out to him. He hasn't reached out to me. And
I think the whole thing.
We'll see how everything transpires. We'll see how everything transpires.
Yeah.
We'll see. Who knows what's going to happen, if he's going to approach us or if he just thinks that nothing happened. I don't know, but it's definitely not. Here at the bike and at Live at the Bike, we definitely don't support these types of things, these angles, so to speak, these actions, these, just the way that he acted. We don't support that. And any time that somebody goes over the line like that, we are going to address it. There's been people in the past that, we've not had back. And, anytime there is something we think crosses the line that far, then we're going to address it from a bike standpoint and from a Live at the Bike standpoint. It's not what we're trying to promote. We're trying to promote a fun show where everyone's having fun together. Everyone enjoys playing with each other, right? Everybody, believes that it's full integrity in the game, and they have nothing to worry about. That's how we want it to be at the casino. That's how we want it to be on Live at the Bike. And anytime that somebody brings something up to us, by the way, let me turn this light on, this light back here.
You were in the middle of a rant,
I know.
Ryan.
Way to ruin the moment.
You were in the middle of the official,
it's like the end of the movie monologue.
Yeah, I realized that we were dark. Okay. Anytime that, someone does bring something up to us where, hey, I'm worried about this integrity issue, or hey, this guy might be cheating, or, rarely will we ever hear something like this, but this guy's angling, or do you really want this behavior on the show? We're going to evaluate it, and if we don't feel like it's somebody who positively contributes to Live at the Bike and to the Bicycle Casino, then we have no problem not putting that person on the show. It's not a right to play on Live at the Bike. It's a privilege, right? Like, we can pick whoever we want to play on the show. I don't care who you are. If we don't want to have you on the show, we're not going to have you on the show. It's our show. we're casting, and once we set the lineup and set the wait list, then anybody can sign up and be an alternate below that.
Sure.
But we can set the list however we want. We can decide what characters are worth playing. We can decide who has integrity enough to contribute to our show. We can decide who's fun for our show. All of that. And so that's very, very important to us, and the casino management feels the same way. And anytime there's a situation like this, it will be evaluated, and changes will be made, and repercussions will occur. And I think
that's a really good official take on it from Live at the Bike's perspective, and I think you did a good job right there.
Thanks. I mean, what would you do in that moment?
If I'm in your shoes, I can't really relate because I don't have your job. I'm not you. I don't have the relationship you have with Mike, right? I would just take the money, and I would do it gladly. But again, I'm not trying to sit here and say like it's so easy because I'm not you. I wasn't in your position. So just me as a different person, it's easier.
Wayne, I think you can relate a little bit to my situation.
I think I did the scheduling for a little bit.
I think you kind of empathize a little bit. You don't know fully, but you know what it's like to have relationships with people.
Yeah, it's very stressful. Like, people don't realize how stressful the scheduling is. And, in these situations outside, and I posted this on 2+2 under the Live of the Bike thread, where it's like what was 10 minutes should have been 30 seconds, where this is the way I handle it. It doesn't also, you choose how you want to do things. You call the floor over, you explain the situation, the floor makes a ruling, which he did. And he said, okay, Ryan should be awarded the money, and then he gives you an opportunity for, like, leniency. And that's basically on you, and you could just be like, the floor rules.
Yeah, and I said, I don't want to get too hard into that part of it, but the issue is that, like, when I'm at the table, I'm the same as everyone else. Don't give me special treatment.
Right.
And don't give me the opposite of special treatment. Just treat me the same as you would with anybody else. How would you approach a situation, if I was X player, and, I don't want to judge how anyone deals with it. I'm not saying it's easy, especially when you know the camera's on and there's a lot of pressure to make the right decision. But I totally get it. And I think that like I did stuff wrong too. I could have easily, like I said, I could have took my time when he went all in because it's so unreasonable.
No, I don't think that's.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that I can think about that in the moment, but I could have said to Mike, I could have been more blunt with Mike and just been like, Mike, you went all in, because I kept saying, I don't know, Mike, I don't know. He's saying, do you want my money? And I should have just said, Mike, it's up to the floor. Mike, the floor decides. I could have said that. I could have said, Mike, when I go all in and you call and you have the best hand, I give you the chips. So you went all in, I called, you have to give me the chips. Like, that's the rules.
Yeah.
I don't want to break the rules.
Right.
I could have said things like this, or just said, floor decide, I don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
Like, I could have said things like this, but I kind of just tried to stay out of it because it's such a weird spot for me. And I knew that I would get the chips eventually, but I wanted to do it in the softest way possible so that, Mike doesn't think that, even though it doesn't matter because he knows what his intent is, I didn't want Mike in the moment to think that I'm trying to, wrong him in some way.
Absolutely.
I've never handled something as harsh as the relationship or whatever, but I've been in the spot. I've been scheduled and outside. I've had to deal with these situations all the time. So basically what I do is I call the floor, and then essentially there's a small window for leniency, but once that window's over, the floor decision is done, whatever it is.
So I've been in some spots, like, because I play your show a lot, and the people that do play your show are pretty much regulars, you end up developing relationships with people. Like, I love Israeli Ron. I love...
Exactly. We're all trying to take their money, but we still love them.
And so I've been in a few spots with people where they kind of were like, do you want to check it down? And I say, hey, man, I came to play. I make that clear. And, I love you, but I didn't come here to fold.
Everybody who plays poker is competitive. We're all competitive, and we all want to make money.
But you do see some checkdowns from other people, right? Because they have different relationships. But I don't ever want that dynamic, ever. Because I don't want to be soft-played. I came to play poker. Like, I think it makes for a good show. And honestly, I think I'm a better player than some of the people I'm playing with.
Right.
So I don't want to check it down.
Exactly. I'm the same way. Anytime someone says to me, like, hey, you want to check it down? I'll always say, no, or when they try to, like, say something referencing soft playing, or hey, I don't want to take your money or something like that. I'll say, listen, as a friend, I would be more disrespected if you didn't play me like you would anybody else. If you play me differently than anyone else, then that's more disrespectful to me. That's the only way I can get across that we are going to play poker just like anybody else, because it is weird. And some of these people that play poker, the recreational players, they don't really get it. They don't really get that everyone's there to try to win. Some people technically aren't there to just win, and I need to be able to get it across somehow that I'm going to play hard at you. You need to play hard at me.
And I'm
I want
okay
your
with
action.
losing.
Exactly. Like,
You should be too.
and I get that. I make that clear too. Like, if you stack me, I'll be happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make it back afterwards. I would be more upset if you didn't try to stack me.
Hal Garvey says I'm here to punt. I agree, man. So like, if
That's
I'm punting, then
that's
I need your
Ramsey's-
action too.
That's Ramsey's Twitter.
We got an
slogan.
incoming call.
Are we ready to take calls yet? Sure, why not? But if it's like a question I don't want to answer, we might just move on. You can call again, 310. I just missed it. Like, we'll take appropriate questions. We'll take questions that we're okay to answer, but if there's something that we don't want to
Shout out to
address,
Surf.
then I might just
Shout out to
tell you
Billy Ron.
we're going to move on.
For the record, my line's been blurred many times on the show, off the show, as a prop, and I have to take every case individually. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not an easy spot because
All right, we'll take this guy.
if people don't like the way you handle it, then
Incoming call.
the relationship's gonna ruin.
All right, 310, you are on Around the Feld. Who's calling?
Mr. Champ.
Yo, Destin! Oh my
What
God,
up, homie?
we did not schedule this. Oh my God, Destin, the champ is here. What's up, man? Turn your background down, please.
You said what?
Turn your
my
the background down. Yeah, thanks. What's going on? Are you
Yeah.
in Vegas or are you in LA?
I'm in LA. I was watching you guys talking how Ramsey said I don't check it down, so I had to call in for that because I support him on that. I don't like to check it down. We come to win, we come to play, and that's why I called in to kind of support Ramsey on the no check it down and the just play with integrity, So
Yeah,
we
I
all
mean,
come to play, but people like to make.
Destin, you're a guy who you don't play for a living, but you play a lot, and you play competitively, and you play to make money, and you're a gambler, and you're a competitor, and you're a sportsman, and you don't come to just soft play people, right?
Right, and that's why, like I always would say, I only run it once because I don't come to tie, I don't come to fold, I come to play. I want to win or I want to lose, And if I lose, then so be it, And I think that's how poker should be played. Even when I was learning to play poker, I never saw in a book that said, let's run it 2 times and do your odds off of this. Like, that's just the craziest thing to me ever.
Yeah,
Okay.
some people just want to lower their
different for
variance, but
Thank-
you're here for the jugular, right?
You said what?
You're here to go for the jugular.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's going on with
How
you?
you guys doing?
I'm good, man. What about you? We haven't heard from you in a bit.
Justin, I miss you, man.
You going to be playing the show soon or what?
Yeah, I'm going to come in. I actually been going to Vegas almost every weekend. I've been in Vegas, and I'm going to go play again this weekend. So the week after that, I probably won't play. So I'll probably be around, not this week, but the following week. I'll probably come play on the Friday show.
Justin, what are you
That's my
playing in
plan.
Vegas?
Huh?
What are you playing out in Vegas?
I've been playing at the Encore, the 5-10 no cap mainly,
Yeah, that's a
and
good game sometimes.
a little bit of 10-20.
Nice. You doing okay?
You know what? It's crazy that you say that because I win playing poker and then I go give it to the blackjack guy.
Stop
So,
it,
yeah.
Destin. Come on, man. Control yourself. You can play the pits in LA or anywhere, but you're in Vegas right now. It's the poker capital at this moment. Play poker. Come home if you want to play in the pits. Don't waste your time.
Right. Oh, you know what? I've actually bumped into a lot of people. I bumped into Maria Ho. I talked to her. I told her I wanted to play on the show when she came. I saw Fedor Holtz a couple times.
Oh, awesome.
He's going
I've
on.
seen like a lot of guys down here. So like there's a bunch of players down here. So I'm trying to
We
get in
almost
one
got
of the bigger
Fedor on the
games at
show.
Bellagio,
We
but again,
Sorry, I said
you
we
know,
almost
we'll
got Fedor to come play on the show.
Maybe
We're
Destin
hoping
will
for
be
that.
the catalyst.
Yeah, Destin,
Yeah.
Fedor heads up. What?
yeah.
What?
That'd be good.
Who's richer?
but you know what though? I would actually play anybody heads up. But the thing about it is, the numbers that they try to play for, I wouldn't play. You know what I mean? Like I would
Yeah.
do like a 10K freeze out. Against I'd do it against Garrett, but I don't think he'd play for that amount. You know what I mean? He'd probably want to play for like 50 grand minimum.
Hey,
I'm not gonna
Destin,
do
maybe
that,
you
know?
you and I can set something up.
Two maniacs.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that.
No, with all-
I've actually played a bunch of people at the at the Hollywood Park, like heads up and said, "Let's play right now." And then I'm like, "All right," and then just go back there and just kind of play them. And
I've always mentioned this, that I would love to do it, and I just never pulled the trigger to execute it. But I would love to do some sort of setup with heads-up matches, whether it's like a tournament or a bunch of matches. It's tough to watch heads-up, and it's only one at a time. But if we get some people who talk and some people who are fun to watch, you know what I mean, like the two of you, then it could be a fun thing. Like, say we set up a bracket and we have some sort of contest going on.
Sure. Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I'd
I'm
be up
down.
for it. Yeah. I'd be up for some of the same
Like
numbers
just
that
the characters on the show?
Sure, some of the same numbers that Destin's talking about, I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, we'll have to do that
yeah, I'm
sometime.
definitely down to do something like that.
Yeah, we'll do it. Maybe after the summer we'll get more creative, and because I think and you know, in the chat, and you guys, Ramsey and Wayne and Destin, like if you guys ever have ideas for new things that we can do on the show, please let me know. I'm so open and flexible to new ideas. You know, we always want to create new types of shows and concepts that we haven't done that would be fun to watch. And if you
I
ever
think
have
we could do a heads-up shootout.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I think we could do a heads-up shootout.
Like just a heads-up tournament? Or?
Yeah, so we get 4 players,
Yeah,
and then we randomly draw for who plays each other heads-up.
right.
We all put up like 5K and just like 20K for first.
Yeah, we could do it with more players than that, though, because more people would want to play.
Sure, but do you have enough
Yeah,
time?
because
Oh,
yeah,
well,
then
we would have to do
it'll
it- we
make
wouldn't
more
do it all
filling
in one
because
week.
there's more money.
Yeah, we do it like, let's say we do every Wednesday 1 month.
Sure, we can
and,
do a tournament
And
bracket,
you
yeah.
start with like 16, and you know you play half of it 1 week, half the other.
You can make
and
it
then
even,
the
even
next
cheaper,
week,
like
and
2K
the next week.
buy-in.
Yeah, we do the semifinals and the finals in one day. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out, but it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Or maybe we do something like you said. We do 4-person tournaments each day, and then the winners go later to a bigger
To like
tournament.
a Friday game if you don't have enough players like for the bigger game sometimes.
No, like
Yeah.
it's like little tournaments to a big tournament.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's satellites.
Yeah, it's like the winners of each regional.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun if Destin came and played.
Yeah.
We can talk some shit on stream and have some fun.
Destin will show up in like a king outfit and a throne.
Yeah. So no. I'm glad you know I actually happened to be watching that show, Ryan. So I'm glad that you know it worked out the way that it did.
Thanks.
And you know I think in that situation I think the floor should kind of help. You know you especially a little bit more. That would be the only change I would have kind of made in that situation. That way it doesn't fall on you. You know.
Yeah.
I think everyone
exactly.
kind of has
Everyone
the same
agrees.
sentiment, you know?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
unfortunate. I think everyone was caught up in the moment, and it was hard for everybody to act perfectly. You know, including Mike, including myself, including Flora, including Dio. Everybody. Like, it was really hard for everyone to know exactly how to treat the situation because it was such a unique situation.
It's like everyone was on tilt,
Yeah.
like in the situation.
You know, it's like if I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy. Like if you got in, you know, if someone broke into your house and started holding your family hostage, you know, like you wouldn't know how to react because you've never prepared for that. You've never been in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, what do you say to the guy? How do you get out of it? What should you do? Should you fight? Like, you don't know because you've never been in that situation. You don't prepare for this mentally on a daily basis, and it's such a weird, extreme situation that, you know, everyone's going to make mistakes. And we just learn from it and, you know, hope that doesn't happen again, basically.
Right. So are you? I know that you're coming down for like the World Series. Are you gonna do like a live at the bike from Vegas or something? Or are you just gonna?
Yeah,
What's
I think
gonna
I'm
happen
gonna
with
do.
that? I mean, like a show or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna do this show. I think for 2 Mondays. So, or at least one. No, probably just one Monday, most likely. I probably just July 9th. I'll probably just do that Monday. I'll do around the felt from Vegas somewhere, Rio or wherever we're able to set
Maybe
it
I'll
up.
join you.
Yeah, if you're there, yeah.
Yeah.
so
Maybe
anybody
I'll
that's at
come
the-
join because I'm gonna be there for sure. Like I said, I was planning.
That'd be a fun
I've been
show.
kind of planning to come down there like every weekend this month until like the end of July. So you know, I was talking to my buddy and I finally realized that I'm gonna stop playing blackjack because it's just not working out for me. So
Snap call.
yeah, it's just not working. So I'm gonna start focusing more on poker, and I think I'm gonna probably try to get into the game with you guys a little bit more, even like the 25-50. And I think that's the biggest issue that I have is like blackjack is like the only game that I feel like I have a shot all the time to win like 50 to 100 grand. You know, it's hard to win that in a smaller game.
But try to just win
but
10K
then,
every
like,
week.
You said what?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's like a sickness, like you just want to win all the money, but you could also lose all the money. You know, you can control.
You can lose a lot. Yeah.
So you can control what hands you play in poker.
So Destin, you're finally being honest with yourself right now. Like I've had that
I
same
think
issue
I'm
with
being
some other
honest,
pick
yeah.
games too, man. I'm just like, I'm punting and I'm delusional.
I
think I have an edge and I don't.
Yeah,
like I have some big nights, but
if you watch
poker's
Destin
better.
on his show with Joey Ingram a few months ago on our channel,
Yeah.
I think you'll realize how honest Destin is with himself and how he really gets it.
Right.
Like, even though he is who he is, I think Destin really gets it.
I think that's the hardest thing to do, not just in poker, not just in gambling, but in life, is to be honest with yourself. So
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for you.
Destin knows his
saying that.
place in the poker world and the gambling world. Like, he knows what he is, right?
I can tell you this. I'm gonna actually, moving forward, I'm gonna be a lot better because I've been practicing a lot. I've been reading like some books. I've been kind of doing a lot more studying than I've done in the past. And I've always just kind of went in there and just said, I'm just gonna play and I'm just gonna learn at the table. But just realizing, because I do want to move up like to the high stake poker, that I have to, do other things to get better. So, I'm going to probably be playing a lot more 25-50 and, trying to get better, working on that, getting more comfortable, and then, even getting to a higher level than that. So right now I am definitely putting in a lot of time in studying when I'm down in Vegas and even at home, like at night, I'm just kind of saying, I'm just going to take like 2 hours a night and just kind of read, focus on hands, things like that. So,
Destin, I got a question for you. So whenever I put in work on anything, not just poker, and I really apply myself, I have aha moments. You know what I'm talking about? Like epiphanies, like, oh shit, like, and it just clicks, right? Have you had any of those, like, since you've been studying and doing it? Like, is there any that you'd be comfortable sharing, or any that you have?
Like when you realize there's something you haven't been doing correctly?
And you're like, oh my god, like, it all makes sense.
You know
now.
what? I think that I'm kind of starting to realize that I play too many hands out of position. And that's one of the things that I'm going to kind of narrow down a little bit. But at the same time, I still want to be unreadable. I don't want people to feel like, oh, this is his range. So I'm just going to have to mix that up a little bit more, but not play so many hands out of position and just throw away so much money, because there's so many times where I've thought about sessions and I said, man, if I would have just stayed away from these couple of hands, I would have had a winning session. You know what I mean? And that's usually what it boils down to, like one or two hands that I can think about that I was like, man, I shouldn't have played that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or and I don't really get a lot of bad beats where I'm like, oh man, I was so far ahead. I get a lot of, I just made the wrong move, which trickled into another wrong play, which made another wrong decision, which ultimately ended up in me making a bad decision, in the end. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things, just from kind of working on getting better, that I'm starting to realize.
So kind of what you're saying is, like, fundamentally poor pre-flop selection trickled down to and compounded into a bigger mistake for you.
Yeah, that's
and it kind of solidified your session, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and then also too, like, I still think, I feel like I never want to be like a tight player. I still feel like I want to see a lot of hands pre-flop, but when I get into those hands, sometimes I'm like, you know what? Even though I know I'm beat, I'm like, nah, fuck that. You got to show me. And I know that I'm beat. You know what I mean? Or I'm chasing too many hands. So, just like not continuing to play those hands once I miss or after the flop. You know what I mean? I guess, if that makes sense. But like basically giving up. Like, all right, I'm beat. Let me try another hand. You know what I mean?
Right. There's always another hand. There's always a better spot. Exactly.
There's
And it's good to hear that you want to play more, because, you've always been destined, since you started playing the show last year, one of my favorite players in the show, because of your personality, because of your celebrations, because of, I honestly think you're a really good person, and you have, like a good heart, and you're just fun to watch play poker.
I think you just like to celebrate.
Yeah, everything, seriously.
And,
because
and I do, and go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, every time we talk about something, like, you just get it. Like, you're not irrational. You understand everything. You don't, like, also, you're just very honest, and you don't lie about yourself, or you don't exaggerate. You let people know who you are, and it's the real truth.
Right.
And I like that.
And I mean, I don't get mad when I lose, because everybody loses. I think some people, when I'm winning, I want to have fun, and I feel like if I, have a little more fun, then people are going to feel like they want to get me a little bit more. But, when I'm losing, yeah, sometimes I'm quiet. But, you guys have never heard me, like, even after the show, like, oh, fuck that, this is some bullshit. Like, I don't get up cussing and screaming. I don't disrespect people. I lost. I take it like a man. And you know what? I come back the next time and I try to do better, And that's just, I feel like what's going to keep me in this without having I don't think there's anybody who can really just blatantly say that I was just just outright rude with them. I just was kind of like laughing and dancing, but it's never like directly towards somebody,
Safe to say, Destin's good for poker.
Well, Destin, look, right now our Friday game is 25-50, and it's been exactly 25-50. There's occasional straddles, but it's 25-50, and I think that that's a comfortable place for you, from what I know, and so I think that you'll enjoy that game a lot. It's very reasonable, but also high stakes enough. And the Tuesday, Thursday games obviously are a lot of fun and great lineups and a lot of action as well. Anytime you got Ramsey in the mix is a good game, and so I think that. We'd love to see you play on the show more, and you know what? There's an open spot on all the shows now because our media mic's gone, so so you can fill that seat.
Well, I mean, I actually watch almost all of the 25-50 games, and I actually watch almost all the Annie shows. I don't ever get in on the chat; I just kind of watch it. Yeah. But I try to support the show and watch as much as I can, and then I watch the people who are crazy in the chat and. I try to get in there when I can, but, I think overall I like playing on Live at the Bike, and, it's helping me get better because it helps me when I can watch some of the things that I'm doing and, changes that I need to make,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And evaluating myself.
And, if you start playing a lot, we're going to have to, did you see the Garrett promo video that we did?
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Have you seen the promo video?
No,
you're on social media, so maybe you don't see it. Well, we're starting to do these.
Garrett's annoyed for half the video.
Yeah.
You have 19 queens here.
We're starting to do these cool little promo videos for social media. We might put them on YouTube as well, but for some of our regular players. And, if you start playing a little more, I think because right now you're kind of like a fringe, like you play once in a while. If you could play more regularly, you could be one of our key characters.
Staple of the show.
Yeah, I would love to have you. We were going to do a Mike video. Obviously not going to do a Mike video now. So we'll do a Ramsey video. We'll do a Destin video. You guys are fun action players, good players that people like watching because you play hands well and you also have really fun hands that you play as well. So we're going to, make some videos for you guys and some other players and promote the really good people that we have on the show. Like you guys are actual good people and fun poker players. Like we're going to promote those people and let people know the positive things that Live at the Bike has to offer.
Right. Okay. No, that sounds pretty cool, man. Definitely sounds cool. I do plan to focus a lot more on poker, so I do plan on getting in that 25-50 game a little more often. Especially like I probably say I'll get on there a lot more often after the World Series, just because I'm leaving usually on Fridays. But
yeah.
But you know what? I actually have only played like a couple of tournaments, but I've been, like I said, I've been doing pretty good in the cash games, and some people have been noticing me and like, oh hey, Dustin from Live at the Bike. So that's pretty cool, and so I like that too. I like the recognition and people. Yeah. Oh, I like you on the show. So
wait, are you Kevin Hart? No, Dustin.
And the thing about it is, I know
are
that
you
in the chat sometimes people in the chat are like kind of rude, but like everybody that comes up to me in person is like, oh dude, you're so awesome, I love you on the show, you're so cool, keep it up. So it's it's kind of like a mix, so man, but definitely plan to get better.
You are a polarizing figure.
Yeah, they either love you or hate you. If they hate you, they're not going to come up to you.
And I found
they come up to me.
I found I'm kind of one too. Some people say some mean shit to me.
People more like you,
but only on the internet. That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, last thing before we let Dustin go. So funny story. Last year, before the World Series, Destin came to me. He called me up and he said, "Hey, I'm taking a bunch of money to Vegas this summer.
Oh man,
I'm gonna play a bunch of tournaments. I really want to get into tournaments." He's like, "Do you have somebody that can coach me on?" I hope you don't. I hope you're okay with me
let's
telling
make
the
sure.
story.
Let's let him answer.
Yeah. I hope you're okay with me telling the story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We already got into it, so it doesn't matter. And so he said, I want someone to coach me. Ryan, can you give me somebody that I can talk to? That he's like, I'll pay them X amount of money. I want somebody to teach me how to play tournaments. Like, I really want to get better. That's my goal this summer. And so I was trying to think of who would be a good person, who might be a good teacher, a good player. And only one person popped in my head. And Destin, tell them who that person was. This is last summer, before last summer.
Kane Callis, the guy who
Oh,
won
okay.
the biggest pot like on TV history.
Right, and so I don't know how much Destin knew who he was at that time, but Kane Callis, who I was like, this guy is a wizard. He's great. He's a great teacher, great speaker. I think he does some coaching, and so I put them in touch, and I know it ended up not working out, or for whatever reason you guys didn't have the time to do it. But, you know, I gave you a good person recommended, and look at this. A year later, Kane has all the money. He's crushing it. He just won a $2 million
Impressive
pot
resume.
in Triton, and now everyone knows who he is. He made it to the semifinals at the 10K Heads Up tournament, or quarterfinals maybe, last week. And so, like you could have learned a little something from him. Now he's going to be too expensive.
Well, the thing about it is last summer he was really, really busy, and I realized that trying to get a coach at the World Series is like almost impossible because his schedule was just so crazy at the time to where like he was like, oh, I can probably do it here and there, and we were out there, and I ended up going and playing some stuff, so it didn't end up working out just because of the scheduling, but I think I'm going to focus more on the cash games anyways, and then maybe revisit the tournaments later.
Cool, man. Well, we're
all right, man.
excited
So
that you want to get back in the mix more.
Give you guys some support.
Yeah, thanks so much for the call. Seriously, no, I said I'm excited you want to get back in the mix more, and hopefully we'll see you on the show soon. And thanks so much for calling. That
See you
was awesome.
around, Destin.
All right, Ramsey. All right, Wayne. Have a good one.
Later.
See you. He does. All right, we're gonna.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm glad that was a nice surprise.
It's really cool to see the regulars like that. Knowing that they're watching and so engaged, and that's pretty awesome. That a guy like this.
I think the chat's trying to I think the chat has been blowing us up trying to interact.
Oh, Wayne, you're tracking all the questions, right?
No, there's too many.
All right, we'll write them all down. Wayne is in
can't.
charge of tracking questions. Wayne,
I
stop
can't.
it! You're in charge.
No,
We got to go all in with Nick.
Well, let's redo. If you sent a question, send it again. We'll read it.
If you send a question, send it again. We'll try to get it.
After we get done talking with Nick, which we're going to call right now, all in with Nick.
Okay.
We will go to questions and calls.
So just hold your questions for after the call.
We're not going anywhere. We'll stay on. This will be a long show. A lot of people. We got like over 500 people watching today.
Sounds good.
All right. We're going to go
It's all
all in with Nick Vertucci from NVRealestateAcademy.com.
Feldman, what's up?
Vertucci, what's up?
What's going on, man? Who am I on the line with?
It's myself and Wayne and Ramsey Dew. I don't know if you know Ramsey, but he is.
Hey, man, we haven't played, but I've watched some of your Friday shows, so props to you.
All right,
Slick
man.
Nick.
Cool, man.
Ramsey is
Good to meet you.
Ramsey is a quasi maniac who plays some of our shows.
I can only punt for
Nice.
maybe $5,000 at a time, so I can't really join you.
Well, that's cool. I mean, you could go like in one orbit or two. Just jump on in, man.
All right.
Just
Well,
wait
now
till
that I got the invite,
just wait till Gary throws a big bluff and double up, and you'll be all good.
bang bang, let's do it.
Yeah.
Nick, it was fun playing with you on
Yeah.
Friday. I appreciate the financial boost.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. I bet you did. Did you go buy new shoes? Like, how much did I help? Because, I made you pretty healthy there.
It's gonna help me pay off one of my 37 credit card bills.
Let's just say I
I
saw
love it.
Ryan
I love
yesterday,
it.
and he was dressed real nice.
Real nice.
Yeah, I got that
You
Gucci on.
You got the Jordans. You got
New
the
watch.
Air
the
Force
Steph
Ones.
Currys. The
Man,
the
Dude,
David
I
I got those
Robinsons.
Lonzo balls.
I would have knocked your fucking ass so off a big ace, but I just didn't see the ace. The ace deuce. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I thought you had a big ace.
Yeah, I'm folding one pair there all day. I mean, I just happen to have
Yeah. And you come out leading like you did, and I'm just thinking, you know what? I put you on a big ace. I didn't put you on two pair. It was a great move, and I don't think I had any choice at that point, to be honest with you, especially with my stack size. And the other thing was, I just was in a fucking grumpy mood, bro. I did not want to play Friday. That rarely happens to me. I had just a shit ton of stuff going on, and I just didn't give two you-know-whats whether I hit that spade or not. I mean, of course, I'd rather have hit it, but I didn't, and I bounced. It was good. There's no one better to double up but you. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool.
I'd rather double up Ramsey.
Well, he doesn't know me. So, that's a that's
Yeah.
that's the second honest conversation we've heard today. Like most people don't like to admit
Yeah.
when they're, or like I've noticed, my worst poker sessions are when something happened to me in life that's fucked up, and I come in
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and I punt
Yeah.
off. I'm more trigger happy. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly how it felt towards the end. And there was a couple other hands I played some good hands, but there was a couple here that I misplayed, and I just got even grumpier. And then I flopped those 4 spades, and I thought, you know what, fuck Feldman, I'm going all in. He wants to call, let him call. Let's do it.
I've said fuck Feldman several times.
Yeah, but it never works.
So
Because he always gets the best of you.
And I think I
And
have a lot
I'm
of
going to
respect.
bring up.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I have a lot of respect for you because I think that like when you haven't played with me before and on the show, and I go into the game, I think some people might not know how they should play against me. And honestly, everybody should. I want to be treated like any other player, and everybody should play the same way they would anybody else. And I think some people, when I sit
Absolutely.
down, might want to play a certain way against me, and I don't
Clearly.
want that. I want everybody to play the
like,
same as anybody else.
You mean some players might want to make a joke against
Yeah.
you?
Yeah,
An all-in
exactly.
joke?
Exactly.
A subject that you probably don't want to touch with a 10-foot pole, but I will.
Now, we talked about it already during the show, and
Oh,
I'm sure you have your
did,
opinion
all right.
about it. And I don't want to go too hard on Mike, but it's been touched
No,
on.
no, I'm not gonna. I actually like Mike. Mike has never, even from years at the Commerce, Mike has never said a foul word to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know if he secretly likes me or he just doesn't know I exist. But that guy has never said a foul word to me. He's never called me cocksucker. He's never said. I don't know why. So honestly, I'm just gonna make a joke and let it go because Mike has never, ever said an ill word to me.
Actually,
Now he has to everybody else on the planet, but he never has me.
No, I'll echo that, Nick. I don't recall him calling me a cocksucker. I think he berates the dealers, but
Yeah.
I mean he's quite
Yeah,
nice
he
to
loves
me. Like,
magic.
I've talked to him on and off the table, and
Yeah.
in general, I get a really good vibe from him. From like when I'm just talking to him, it's not like anything that we just saw
Now,
on Friday.
yeah,
So
yeah, no,
I hate that it
totally.
happened,
And he's good for the game because he's an entertaining personality. So, and you're in a tough spot, Ryan. I mean, that's like the toughest spot you could be in on the planet. And you know that how I feel, and I only say it once because I don't want to like jeopardize anything there for anyone. But whoever was the floor needs to make a decision a little bit faster and a little more adamant, and needs to grab that rack and slide it to you, and that's the decision, and that's
Right.
the end of it. Because that being put on you, I'm sure you guys talked about this, was not cool.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to go
Yeah.
too much into that.
Yeah, I know.
avenue,
We're off it. We're off it.
But I
I
mean,
get it. I know how you are.
Your point is definitely taken, and everyone, echoes that, and it's
Yeah,
a learning,
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
learning
So-
thing for everybody, really, because people just aren't used to this spot. It's on the show, like it's definitely a learning opportunity.
Yeah. Hey, I got another question. When are we going to be able to go twice again around that pit, a joint?
When are we gonna what?
Seriously, what the hell? What the fuck's up with not being able to go twice? I probably would have still been playing if I could have went twice on that flush.
Yeah.
When are we
never.
when are we changing that rule back? Never.
Never, ever. No gamble, no
Never,
future,
ever,
Nick.
ever.
hey, I'll put a
Yeah,
prop
no,
bet.
you're right.
2 years. Give me odds though.
I mean, I don't want to.
Shit, 2 years though. I don't have 2
No,
years. I'm old.
I know. I might not be on this planet,
Nick, it's better for the show anyway. No gamble, no future.
but if I am,
No,
think I'm
I
gonna
know
win
it
the
is
bet.
better. I know it's better for the show, but sometimes Ryan. I mean, all that said done, but we got like $100,000 pots there, so you know what I mean.
I mean,
No
honestly,
future,
I don't
but
think it
would be nice.
affects. I don't think it affects a Friday show as much as other shows because I think half the people that play the show run it once anyway. Like Andy runs it once, Art runs it once, Garrett runs it once.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's
most
true.
of the time you're going to be in a hand with one of those three, if there's an all-in. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
But
I think Nick has a
Yeah, you're right.
You would have ran it twice with him.
of course, I'll always run it twice, but it doesn't change
Yeah,
the equity.
yeah.
But you certainly could have won
Yeah.
half.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that would have been better than nothing. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, I get it. It does change the dynamics a little bit on some decisions you're making.
It does for sure.
I'll tell you
yeah.
that right now.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
you could definitely be more willing to get it in when you know you can run it twice.
Well, I was trying to use it for my advantage with you because I didn't put you on 2 pair. I put you on a big ace, and I thought,
So you put
well, if
pressure
you're
on
only
me.
running it left,
Yeah.
yeah, I bet you if I put this pressure on him, he'll lay it down, and then I don't gotta hit it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
But I was wrong. Again.
I'm only calling there with ace deuce, ace four, pocket fours, pocket twos.
What do you do with ace king?
Yeah.
You really fold it?
I
think that's
probably
like-
don't
I
have
think he
ace
folds
king
it.
there, but I probably fold.
Yeah,
Honest-
I don't think
honestly,
he makes
I
that
don't,
move with ace king, but he's
Yeah,
on the
because-
bubble with ace king. I say it's 50-50.
right. I think that you can have ace deuce suited or ace four suited or fours or twos. So
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
gotta
I
have
think
one
I
of
get
those
you to
hands.
lay it down. I personally think I get you to lay it down with just an ace. That's
I mean,
my
when
opinion.
When you shove for that much more in the pot, like you're creating a lot of fold equity, and so I'm gonna have to fold a lot of hands there.
I think so too. I think the deck just
Yeah.
slapped him in the face and gave him two pair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because my best case scenario, even with two pair, was 61%. You know what I mean?
Right. And you still were, I could see you a little bit in pain over it anyways, regardless.
I suppose
It
you
wasn't- you weren't-
maybe. I don't know if you would do that with like ace jack or something, but you know, if you're only doing it with flush draws, it's hard to call. You know, unless I have certain hands.
In
Yeah.
that pot was the ace of spades? That does matter.
I think it was, but I don't
Okay.
remember.
All right.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
it's hard to
Yeah.
like have top pair in a spade draw.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yeah. What else has been going on? Where's Randall been?
I don't know. He called me though over the weekend. I heard from everybody
ever gonna
and
play again?
anybody over the weekend. I don't know, but I've heard from everybody this weekend about this incident. You know, like Randall called me, Josh Macchiello called me. You know, I got texts from
everyone came out of the
everybody in social media. Text. I mean, like Alan Cunningham was talking about this, and like it's just
Oh my
crazy
God,
how
you're
much this
kidding
blew
me.
up. It's crazy.
No shit. You got
man,
people
if-
like Alan Cunningham watching that stream? That's hysterical.
No, but I'm saying they saw it on Twitter. You know,
No,
Joey
I know.
tweeted it out, and I mean, man, if you look at
Yeah.
the people that reached out to me, I mean, Kane Callis texted me. I had a fraternity brother who I haven't heard from in 9 years text me about it. Another fraternity brother that I haven't heard from in a long time messaged me. Like, it just doesn't stop. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to like brag or anything, but I'm just saying, like, you know, Barry Woods obviously
No, I get
reached
it.
out to me. Matt Tuckman, everybody.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, no,
Social
it was,
media had a fiasco.
It was pretty. Again, to say it without, I mean, trying to be nice here, but it was absurd. It really was absurd.
I had you know,
I mean,
Clarence,
that rack went sliding in almost to the dealer. I mean,
I know.
That was like the Back to the Future.
I know it was
DeLorean.
even more obvious after I watched it.
it was a shove, man. It was a shove. If you toss your cards, there's no joke. They make no joke. It was no joke.
I got
It was a
you know,
joke once you snapped.
the Clarence, the guy who got was in the situation with Alec Torelli, the famous hand with
Yeah.
Torelli. That kid
Right.
Clarence, he texted me, Alec, worst angle in poker history. Mike, hold my racket chips. Like hold my beer.
Well,
Like,
you know what I want to say too, but it's like I feel so bad because I fucking love Mike in a weird way, even though he's so obnoxious. But that, like, he won't care because, like, Alec Torelli has built his whole life around his videos and his reputation, and
Yeah.
trying to brand himself a little shit he does, whatever. And not in a bad way, that's just what he does. That's his life. Well, Armenian Mike doesn't give two fucks what anyone thinks, so that's what he's got going for him. But this is like that, meaning like this is the type of thing to make you the poker pariah. But the beautiful thing about Mike is he doesn't give two shits. So that's what he's got going for him is what Alec did because it hurt him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's a little different. Yeah.
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 Michael just go screw 10 other
forgotten.
people on some transmissions and he'll be fine next week. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett was hitting me up a lot over the weekend, just making sure that I'm cool, and that he was kind of worried about me. Just how I react.
Right. Well, you
I
look.
talked to him.
If you watch the video, the way you were slouched down, and you had your hand over your face, you look like you were in physical pain over it.
Yeah, I was distraught because it's just, oh man, it's like I don't even know how to explain
You know
it.
why
It's-
though? You're the most non-confrontational person on the planet,
Yeah.
and it's your game, and it affects like so many things, and it's just like the
The
worst.
last thing I want is
It's
somebody
just
to be upset
yeah.
against me. You know what I mean? And even though he brought it on himself, it's just like I don't know how
Right.
to react. What am I supposed to say and do? It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be harsh
Yeah.
about it, even though I know that I'm in the right and he's in the wrong.
Well, that would have
It's-
went a lot different and I don't mean this like, oh, it would have been so different if I was there, but I really think it would have been different if I was there.
Yeah, you
because
would
I
have been
honestly
stern.
wouldn't. I would not have taken so long like everyone did to step up. I would have just looked and said, Mike, I love you. You know it. Send him that rack. Like, don't do that to yourself. You shoved. Knock it off. Like, I would have said it within 10
I would never
seconds.
say that like players at the table have a responsibility that they have to say something in a
I do.
situation like
I
that.
think so.
But I don't think there's any wrong with saying something, and I think that it's encouraged that players do. Now, if you don't, it's all good. You can leave it up to the floor.
Yeah.
But me personally, I will always say something when there's a wrong, and I know you would do it because you're a table captain, and Garrett would, and you guys are comfortable with yourselves. But there's other people at the table who just didn't want to get involved. They didn't say a word the whole time.
Yeah. No, that's their personality. But I think
Right.
I think that's like the integrity of that game that we play every Friday. It just, the guys that are regulars need to step up so that shit doesn't get brought in at all. Like, that needs to be like known that if someone else is coming in there, unlike a regular like Mike or someone else, like, don't pull that shit because we're all going to step up to that. We've never had, you know this, we talked about this before. We never, it's like when I Snap called Gary before his chips at the table, he didn't have to put that money in technically. But everyone at that table knew he was calling, and everyone, even myself, like Gary, put it in, dude. Like, you know you got to. Like, I would have. And that's just how we do it there. Like, no one pulls that shit. No one makes moves with their hands. No one pulls any of those shots in. So
Right.
for me, I just think, you know, you just need to say it.
Yeah, and that's why
you just
integrity
do.
is as important as anything for us, for the bike as a casino, for Live the Bike as a show, and that's why we had to take a stand here, and, you know, we're not going to bring Mike
Yeah.
back to the show. You know, I haven't heard from him, so who knows if he's just going to, like, walk in tomorrow and act like he's supposed to be
You're
here.
not going to bring him back to the show?
No, you won't be seeing Mike, you know, indefinitely. He's not going to be on the show.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that decision was made.
Yeah, it's just not a good look for us to have him back. We don't stand for that. And
I agree with you.
you know,
I
I
hate
mean,
to
who
say it.
knows
I
what
mean,
happens? Who knows what happens a long time
Dude,
down the road from
yeah.
now? But right now, he's not
I
going to be
get
on the
it.
show. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
get it, and again, I hope, you know, he didn't take this wrong if he's listening, but even the abuse to the dealers, it's so loud on stream, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, I can't believe did you make that decision?
It's a group decision. I don't want to say who made the decision. It's a
Kind
group, it's a
of,
group
see what I
decision.
mean? I almost was really proud of you if you had just said yes, because normally that's not a decision I see you making, and I hope that it was you, because
Well, I'm going to make
we
whatever
should
decision,
protect
but I'm
the
never going to make a decision by myself. We're a team.
Yeah.
We have 5 owners on Live
Yeah,
the
good for
Bike.
you.
And, you know, there's other people involved. And, you know, we're going to do what's best for our show and for the
Yeah.
casino. Like, in the end, we're here to promote the bicycle casino. That's the only reason Live the Bike exists, is to promote the bicycle
Yeah, I get it.
casino. That's our primary purpose.
Yeah.
Not the only reason, but that's our primary
Yeah, it's
purpose.
promotional, yeah.
And, you know, we have to do what's best to promote the games we have in our casino and the people we have in our casino. And, you know, we're a reality show, but we need to make sure that we have a good look and that people respect our show and that
Yeah, I
we know
agree
there's
with you.
integrity.
Yeah, I agree
And
with you.
we want people to feel comfortable playing here. You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
yeah, so
No, I'm with you. No, I got it.
it's
That's cool.
important for us, and you know, we don't like to do these types of things, and you know, I'm okay with like everything else that Mike has done. Like, yeah, there's some bad stuff, there's some gray areas, but like we can tolerate
yeah.
a lot of stuff that he does. Now, I've had talks with him on the side and said, "Hey, Mike, you need to do this. Hey, Mike, you can't take long breaks. Hey, Mike, you need to speed up your decisions. Hey, Mike, you know, you can't
Yeah.
check it down with people. You know, but he can learn from
Right.
that and he can adapt. This is
Yeah.
different.
You
This is
can't
way
steal
over the
everyone's
line.
vouchers, too. That's not cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we can deal with that. But this is way over the line, and we have to address things like this. Like, this deals with integrity. Other things just deal with
Yeah.
being a pain. This deals with integrity, and
Yeah.
we can't have that on Live the Bike.
No, I get you. Good. Good for you guys. That's cool.
You know, it sucks. You know,
That's
we love
cool.
Mike. He's funny. He's developed into this like really cool personality, this cool character on
Yeah.
the show. You know, sometimes he shows up like he did on Friday as Aztec Mike, and
Hawaiian.
Yeah,
Hawaiian
his
Mike.
His matching shorts and shirts.
Yeah,
And, yeah, I get it.
exactly.
Cute
you
and
know.
Mike.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. He pitched the Armenian Mike video to me like several times, and then
Yeah.
it's like now
He introduced the Armenian merge. Maybe we'll pour one out for Mike on Friday.
pour out a little liquor.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna. Here's the other thing. I'm not going to be there this Friday. I'm going to be in Chicago. But when I come back next Friday, man, I got some really funny stuff for the show. So you just have to stand by.
Oh, what'd you think about, was it this week or last week, about Art's camouflage outfit?
Well, I watched just about 2 minutes of that on the stream. I really get to watch that because I wasn't there. Yeah, it's Art Papazzi, Art Rambo Papazzi. I get it.
Maybe we should all show up one day. Everybody should just wear complete camouflage just to troll Art.
Maybe something. I got like I said, in 2 weeks from now though, I got some stuff for all those guys that we'll be pulling up. Yeah.
All right, Nick. We'll let you go, but we appreciate you going all in with us. And
all right, man. Well, it was a good chat.
Have fun in Chicago this week.
Fucking nutcases that are on stream, for me. And I'll see you 2 weeks from now.
All right, we'll see you then. Have a good one, Nick. Thank you.
All right, boys. Late.
Later.
Bye.
That is All In with Nick Vertucci. Ramsey Dew said, getting drinks for the booth. We'll be back. Ramsey's in the chat, but not in the booth. What did Mike do? Said Richie Menlo. Well, for those that live under a poker rock.
Who are not on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram,
Google,
YouTube, Facebook.
You could go to Joe Ingram's Twitter.
Don't go to Live at the Bike.
Go to Joe Ingram's Twitter or...
who have not been at a poker table in the last 48 hours or 72 hours.
2+2.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, in that moment, right afterwards, I said something like at the table, guys, this is going to blow up. This is going to be the biggest thing in poker. I didn't think it was going to be as big as it was, but I knew it was going to be the hot topic for a bit.
Yeah.
And
went viral.
And no, so I knew it was going to blow up a bit. It blew up pretty crazy. I mean, there's accounts that posted it with 100,000 views, and I'm sure it'll be fun when I go to the Rio and everyone approaches me. But
they high five you,
and they're like, "Hey Ryan, what's up? Just joking."
Yeah. Just joking.
All right, let's answer some questions, okay, and we'll take some calls. SJC168, I don't know what this question says yet, but I'm going to read it. I do have a related question to Ryan. As a producer of the show, do you have the choice to play on which show? What does Live the Bike do to make sure Ryan, the producer, is not only plays on the soft game? For example, when Mike is on, Ryan plays. When Dan is on, Ryan does not play, even if it's short games. Someone mentioned that maybe Ryan should not be allowed to play on the show since he's in charge of games lineups. Love to hear comments. Thanks. Okay, good question. So this has been brought up quite often. People on social media are saying, like, this is why I shouldn't play the show. I don't know the answer to that, but this is what I will say. And it's something we'll discuss and address, and, I don't know if I'm going to play the show anytime soon or if I'll just continue to play Thursday. I don't know. But here's what I'll say about that, and then let me talk, and then you guys can chime in with what you guys think, because you guys understand it maybe more than some of the people in the chat. I think a lot of people really don't get it who are watching, but here's what I'll say. First of all, I'll say that plenty of hosts / producers play on their shows. Poker Night in America, when Matt Glantz was producing that show, Matt Glantz played all the time. He was a regular in that show. However he played or whatever, how much he bought in, I don't know. But he played on the show all the time on that show. Hosts in games play all the time. And let's say out here in the casino, Jonathan and Annie play in the limit game. Gene in the 40-80 limit game.
Patty, Kathy.
Yeah, Patty, TT and Casey in our small mix game, right? JRB plays in his Aria game all the time. Yeah. These people are hosts, they're employees of the casino, and they still play, and there's very few issues. Everyone that's in the game understands that they're a host, but they're still poker players. I get to set my lineups, yes, and I get to decide when I want to play. That is true. Here's the thing. I was not playing on the show for a long time. From maybe, I don't know, like December last year when I first started doing this till May of last year. I don't think I played a single show maybe once in that whole 5-month span, 6-month span. People started asking me, when are you going to play in the show, Ryan? When are you going to play? Because I'm commentating. I represent the show. People want to see me play. And, I didn't want to play because I wanted to let everyone else play. So I started scheduling myself a few times. Over the summer, last summer, it got pretty slow. And there were opportunities for me to play. People didn't show up. There's 7 people. I got to jump in to fill the game. So I've been playing way more frequently since last summer. And but for the most part, I play when we need someone to play. So I will never take a spot away from a fun action player who wants to play on the show, a regular that wants to play on the show. If we don't have 9 regular people that play on Live the Bike that want to play, or somebody, that's worthy of playing that's in the casino, if I don't have 9 of those people, then I will jump in the game to fill a seat. But if we have, if I'm in the game and there's 9, and then all of a sudden Israeli Ron texts me or Eldar texts me, or Ramsey texts me, hey, I want to play, I'll give up my seat for them. I would never take that spot, and make them an alternate. if if there's a spot open during the show and I'm not commentating, sometimes I'll jump in the show, or sometimes from the commentary booth, fair, unfair, we could evaluate that. But when there's no one else, sometimes I'll jump in the show. Yes, I get to pick which lineups I get to play in, but here's the thing. I make it so that every single Live of the Bike lineup is a good lineup. My goal, one of my top goals, is to make every single show good. So I'm not really setting bad lineups. If I did, there's just nobody else to play that week. I'm trying to set at the best lineups possible for that day given who is available to play. And so the game's always going to be good on Live of the Bike, right? Like, if the game wasn't good, then who would play in the game? Now, yes, the big games sometimes aren't as good because those guys just want to battle. This week, there was one spot. It seemed like a fun lineup. There was one guy who was supposed to play, and he didn't show up. So I was thinking about it. I gave that guy a little bit of time to show up.
Friday game?
Yeah, this past Friday. Johnny Moreno was coming to commentate with me. He said that his brother Andrew was in town too, and that he could commentate as well. So I said, maybe I'll play. There's a seat open, and I'll let them commentate. That'll be fun for them. So I did it. Why not take a shot? It's fun for people to watch me, the people that like watching me play poker. And yes, maybe I wouldn't play if the game was 8 crushers, right? But I don't know that anybody could, like Ramsey might play when it's a good game and not play when it's a bad game too. It's the same for anybody, and I try to be like any other poker player, and I don't think that anybody should treat me differently than anyone else. If I'm in the game at the table, I'm a poker player. I'm not a producer anymore.
Sure.
And treat me the same way. But if you guys think that there's issues, feel free to pass them along and tell me. I'm open to anything. If you don't think I should be playing in the game, I'm open to it. But I've heard both sides from a lot of people. I'm curious what you guys think.
So I think you bring the action straight up. There's a story that was told of when Ryan played a big pot with Queen Deuce off stream, and some pro from Vegas was in the game, and someone was like, he works here, right? And he props. And this other guy was like, there's no way that guy props. There's no way Ryan
at the 5-10 game outside.
Ryan won a $16,000 pot with Queen Deuce of Spades. Is that correct?
Hearts.
Hearts?
For what it's worth.
Suited, whatever. Shout out to Zarelli.
In a 4-bet pot.
Yeah. And so he wasn't even on stream, and he's playing like that, right? So if you're trying to put together good lineups, and you know that you're more action than, somebody that's an LA regular playing this game for a living, why wouldn't you take the seat?
Right.
No one complained when Gabe Kaplan played on High Stakes Poker. If anything, they loved it. The commentator played on the show, and he made some bluffs, and it was really entertaining. From my perspective, personally, I've had instances where I'm scheduled to play on the show, and I'll just say this: I have a side job that I do full time, and I just play poker whenever I feel like it. And
he's a Chippendale for those asking.
Yeah, I sling that
That's
deep.
that's how we met.
So there's a lot of times where I text Ryan. I said, hey, his show starts at 5:30 or so, because there's a 15-30 minute delay. And I said, hey, I can't get there till 7:30. And so Ryan will hop in the game and then give me his seat when I get there. So
yeah, because I don't want to give.
What do you guys want?
I don't want to give my seat to some in those situations, which are rare. I don't want to have. Well, 2 things. I don't want to have an open seat, and then we have to open it up and let whoever from the casino play who might not be great action.
What do you? What do people want?
And then also, I don't want to ask somebody else to sit in the game and then ask them to get up an hour and a half later when Ramsey gets there. If they're stuck 5K, they're not going to be happy about that. I don't mind because I can play whenever I want, and I care about Ramsey, so I want Ramsey to play, and I want to make sure he has that seat when he gets here. But I don't want to just. It's hard to sometimes to hold a seat for 2 hours because people complain. So yeah, that's
and you've made it special accommodations for people that travel out here and they're like, hey, listen, I want to play on Live at the Bike. You've asked me, hey, can I? I'm not bumping you, but do you mind giving up a seat for somebody that is just traveling out here? And I've done it.
Right, because I never bump somebody. If I already told you you're in the game, I'll ask you if you don't mind, but I'll never tell you you're out of the game.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to please everybody, and I think what you're doing is probably the best that you can do. I don't really see any other option. Yeah.
Wayne, what do you think? You think there's any issues with me playing?
No, in fact, I've told you this in person and the public. I insist that the commentators play on the show, and that's because it is a community. And what's worse than the commentators not playing on the show is people who don't play on the show that commentate. And to me, that ends up being a disaster because they don't know the players. They don't know what it's like to
Sit in the game.
sit in the game and like face down cards and deal with these situations. So I'm actually insistent that the commentators and you as the host / commentator play in these games. And really, it's all fair. It's not like you just took shots at this supposedly like good game and you only play in this good. You play in many shows and many lineups, and like there's no rule that we have to play against Garrett and Danzak three-handed. That's like that's kind of suicide. I mean, I want to play with them in the future at a certain time, but like there's no rule, and it's not like you're jumping in the juiciest games where it's like everyone's just going all in blind. That's not the case either.
Yeah, and again, those games are juicy, maybe that I play in sometimes. But if there is somebody who is a regular, who's a character, who's fun for the game, who wants to play, I will let that person play before me every single time. But we're in LA, people have stuff to do, and believe it or not, even in the sickest games we've had, like
you've had open seats.
Yeah, like that game when Randall wanted to play, right? One of the first Randall games, and Key played, and David Chan played, and Chris played, and LG played, and whoever else. I don't think you were in that game, right?
I only played a single with them.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
and so that game was insane. Like Randall was just going nuts, of course, and like Chris and David and Key weren't supposed to play in that game, and a bunch of people backed out and couldn't play. Now, again, we didn't have that many people in the Rolodex to play back then, like fun players, and a lot of those people came after that. That was, I think, November or early December. But, for example, like Israeli Ron was supposed to play in that game, and he couldn't make it last minute, and there was a couple other people that couldn't make it.
Shit happens.
I had to fill seats, so I said, who would be, who has been asking to play in the games, who is loyal to the show, who would be fun for the atmosphere in the game, and will create action. And I said, Chris Key and David Chan. Those guys know how to make a game fun.
Miss David.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And David ended up losing a ton that game. And, that's what I went with. And, Randall wasn't happy because he knew they were good players, but nobody was available. Like, I wasn't going to give them a seat over Eldar, Israeli Ron, or Harry, or Key, or, sorry, not Key, or LG, or Eli, or Eli wasn't around then, John, whoever, like these guys that are non-professional, so to speak, like any of them that wanted to play that's a regular in the show, they would be in that game. But guess what, guys? We don't always have 9 qualified characters to play in these games.
You guys want to get invited alive at the bike? Bring the fucking action.
Yeah, exactly.
But
like this is a casting call. It's not
a casting couch.
It's not. Yes, it's a table in the casino, but we are allowed to cast.
Okay, so what the viewers don't necessarily know is, as well as like I've been scheduled on some games, and sometimes something happens, like maybe it's overbooked, or like somebody flies in who's a subscriber, and then Ryan tells me he never forces me off the show. He asks me personally, explains the situation. Obviously, because I'm here 24/7, like I could pick and choose, and I oftentimes say, okay, yeah, go ahead, let this person play.
Happy.
Yeah,
And
Wayne's a
Ryan
team
never
player.
He never forces me off. He just says it's your decision, but the situation. I think every single time I backed out or whatever.
And every time Wayne is super fair. Every time you've said what? You've said something along the lines of, I'll do whatever's best for the show.
Yeah, that's always been my stance. And also about the commentators playing on the show, we've all been in the chat, in the booth, and there. It's best if the commentators play on the show, because when they come back here, they know the players, they know like they could have extra
I think
insight.
it's more entertaining.
It is more entertaining, but I'm just saying I feel like if you don't play on the show, you're not even like a good candidate to commentate, unless you you do on other shows or like a public figure, because it's like you don't know the players, you don't know what it's like to like see face down cards. When you're in the chat and I'm watching, it's really cringe when some of the commentators don't watch the shows.
Yeah.
And I'm just
they all of a sudden know everything, right?
Yeah, all of a sudden they know everything, and it's just like they don't know the players on the show. That's actually really annoying. It's like when the commentators like say something, they obviously don't know the players on the show as people or poker players.
They can't emphasize.
Yeah, they just can't micromanage a little.
And we probably are the only.
Sorry.
We probably are the only poker show where all of the commentators, all the regular commentators have played on the show.
Right, and that's something I stress to Ryan.
I can't think of any other poker show where that's the case.
I don't know, what is Poker Night in America?
I mean,
I know
I don't know who the regular commentators are, but They don't
Sean
have
Deeb-
they don't
Sean
have
Deeb
regular
and
commentators, so that's the problem. But
Okay.
but like Poker After Dark, like
I
obviously
think-
their commentators don't play all the time.
Yeah,
on the show,
for the record, like
we-
Ryan and I do not be like, oh, okay, this is like amazing. We'll jump in, and I've definitely brought to his attention that I think all the commentators need to play like regularly.
I
too.
will do whatever I like to do. Whatever's best for the show.
Yeah.
And if I feel that me playing in the game in a certain situation is best for the show, then I'm going to do that. But if I
Sure.
feel like Ramsey or LG or Wayne or whoever, or Israeli Ron is best and they're available, then they're going to get the seat.
And-
so whatever's the best in that moment, that is what I'm going to do. It's not selfish. It's me thinking business.
I'm not aware when I'm only aware when I back out, but I'm 100% sure Ryan's backed out of seats that you guys don't know about.
Not
Like
a call
something
coming.
happens, and then Ryan has to back out from whatever
Should we take
and
it?
he intended to play.
All
or
right,
something like
we'll gamble and take a call. Let's see. Hopefully it's a good one. 562 area code. You're on around the Feld. Who's calling?
Yo, you have no clue who this is?
You're going to have to talk a little bit more to figure it out. Am I supposed to know?
Give us some hints.
This is Upswinging JJ.
Oh my God!
JJ.
I can't. I still.
Wait,
you told
how
us, I
lucky
can't
are
even
we?
tell.
Wait,
I
how?
can't even tell
Wait, is it
the
really
voice.
JJ? Wait.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Wait,
But
how-
it
wait,
just sounded off.
Wait, what's your wife's name?
Oh, come on, man.
What's your favorite? What's your most hated catchphrase?
What's your address? Where do you live?
Wait, hold on.
Okay,
Button
so-
opens. You button opens. You have 6'8" student in the small blind. What do you do?
Where's the key to your box? Where's the key to your box?
Oh, just want to give a shout out to you guys. I'm on my
Now
dinner
I
break
see. Yeah.
of the marathon, which is probably the best structure. If any of you guys want to play World Series events next year, main event and this structure are amazing. So other than that, though, it's been Brick City for our World Series. Me and my
No,
roommate
we don't
Ryan
want to hear
Hamill.
that.
Don't go bust though. We need you back.
Still early, brother.
No, it's all good. So me and Ryan, I busted the 6 max of the World Series, like 15 people from the bubble, and I was already tilted. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and Chris Ferguson is like locked out of his car, right? So I'm like, Ryan,
that's a good
like,
sight.
tell him something. Ryan's like, go tell him something. So we hop in our car, and like the guy comes with like a Slim Jim to open his car, and I pull by his car, and I'm like, hey Chris, and he turns around like if we were fanboys, and I was like, go F yourself.
Oh,
Oh my
man.
God.
And he looked so shocked and scared. I was like, "That's what that fool gets." Me and
Wait,
Ryan
you
were
should have
just cracking
yelled
up.
afterwards. You should have yelled afterwards. O'Doyle rules.
We should have, man. I told Chris that should be like.
How bold is Chris
our,
Ferguson
last
to be
one
by
or bet.
himself in a
Whoever
parking
like
lot?
busts the tournament first, like has to go tell Chris Ferguson to go F himself.
How delusional is Chris for being in
Ho-
a parking lot at 11 p.m. at
Wait,
night
wait.
by himself?
Hopefully you didn't actually
Well,
say
he locked
F.
his keys in the car, and then he had some fanboys like saying hi to him, and I was like, "Oh fuck no!" Sorry for my language. I was like, "Oh
no,
F no!"
bring it, bro.
Wait.
Really saying
Hopefully
hi
you
to him,
didn't.
fanboying this dude.
Hopefully you didn't actually say F though.
Background
No,
story.
I said that.
Yeah,
the
autocorrect
real
to
F
duck.
word with like an angry face, and then Ryan just threw him the bird, and then we just drove off.
I can see the headlines. Live the
Straight
bike
up.
commentator curses at Poker Legends in the parking lot.
Hey,
He doesn't
based
know
off
who
his
I-
reaction,
He doesn't know who I am.
he thought he was going to be assaulted, didn't he?
That is the highlight of my World Series so far, boys.
So that took
Besides,
you off tilt,
Phoenix
right?
dinner break.
That took you right off tilt, probably.
Oh yes, me and Ryan were like smiling. We picked up some halal guys after. We had a good night after that, even though.
And by the way, to clarify,
had
the
some
Ryan that
ass
he's
and
talking
six
about
packs.
Not
is
you.
Ryan Hemmel, who commentated with JJ a couple weeks ago on
Oh.
the show.
Yeah, Ryan plays on the show. He's a good player. And then Ryan, everybody is asking me about that hand with you and Armenian Mike. I know you guys already talked about it on the show, probably, so we don't got to rehash it. But there's been so many people who have came up to me and asked me about the hand.
Oh, I totally
So,
forgot about that hand until you brought it up.
Yeah.
I forgot too.
Yeah. I'm sure it got a lot of traction because of Joey Ingram. So.
Oh,
It,
yeah.
it was getting traction. It's on all the poker
No,
news and
Joey
everything.
made it blow up, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, Joey posted on Instagram, and it had 75,000 views just on Twitter, sorry. 75,000 on Twitter, like 30,000 views on Instagram. You know, some on Facebook, there was another profile poker something that got over 100,000 views. It's pretty crazy how viral this went.
Yeah. So some of the notable guys I play with in the Venetian, I think it was like 6 million guarantee or whatever, 5 million guarantee. Scotty Nguyen sat by me all day. Awesome
Nice.
dude, but is like the tightest, most passive player ever now. I don't know what happened to him. Time, I guess.
Old age.
Staked.
Uh,
Stake backer said,
no.
play tight.
in the Millionaire Maker, I've had like very, very soft tables. I've been very lucky. I just haven't got some steam going. But in the Millionaire Maker was like my only tough table. I had Barry Greenstein, John Beaupre, and Bryce Yockey all at my starting table.
Never heard of any of them.
Okay, so you have a limit player and 2 PLO players. Perfect.
Yeah, that's true. But I
Who's
mean,
the limit
that was
player?
like
Who's
a
the
tough
PLO
table
player?
compared
Barry
to the other
Greenstein's a
tables
limit
that I've
player.
had, so.
Barry
He plays.
Greenstein's
I've
a
played
mixed game
everything
player.
with
Okay,
him.
well, I'm
I've
just saying
literally
what
played
he
every
plays
game with
most
him.
these days, limit and mix.
Okay,
Right?
I
What
don't know
happened?
what he plays.
No, I'm saying, okay, none of those guys are primary no limit hold'em players, though.
He called Barry
Oh, yeah,
Greenstein
yeah.
a
I mean,
limit
I
player.
don't know.
Right? Who would
Those
be a
were the,
primary no
like,
limit
the
player of
known
those
guys.
three?
You know.
I've played.
known
Yeah, they
guys,
have, but that's not what they
Who's the
play.
third
definitely
guy?
none of those
Bryce?
guys are like
Bryce.
crushers
Oh, I don't know
anymore.
anything
He's a
about
Besides
PLO,
maybe
he's
Bryce is
PLO
probably the
quick
best.
pro.
Okay,
whatever.
that
No
I
limit
don't
on that
know,
table.
but Barry
Besides,
Greenstein and
yours
Bryce, I've
truly.
played every single game with him.
We're talking over each other.
Sorry,
Barry
JJ.
mainly plays like limit nowadays and stuff like
Okay.
that. I'm not saying
I don't know. I'm
Barry's
not up to
still a
date.
G. He still plays very aggressive, but
Barry?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty easy when you know he's unbalanced and he's like c-betting every single flop. Like literally, he had 100% c-bet almost. So, but I
Yeah,
mean, Barry's great. He's a fan of Live at the Bike. He was asking about
Oh,
some of the owners of Live at the Bike and stuff like that, and he was telling me how he used to commentate with Bart and Tuckman and stuff.
oh, sick.
So, but I don't want to take too much time of your guys' call-in, so
Oh.
I just want to say what's up to you guys really quickly. Thank you, Ramsey, for jumping in, and thank you guys for watching our Around the Felt.
Yeah, thank you
Great to
so
hear
much.
from you.
JJ, when I come to Vegas, we can do Around the Felt if it works out for us, like, if we're not in the main or something that Monday night, or maybe we'll do like an impromptu stream. Who knows? I'll bring my laptop and we'll do some stuff from there. We'll do some meetups. I'll be there July 3rd. Maybe I'll go a weekend before that. I'm not sure. But if not, I'll be there July 3rd,
Yeah.
and we'll do some Live at the Bike stuff together while we're there.
Sounds great, guys. You guys have a great rest of the day, and hopefully I can run
Good luck,
decent in
JJ.
this marathon. So
Win that bracelet. Let's go.
JJ, good luck.
my first marathon running. It's not like a running marathon, but it's the first marathon. If I go deep, I went far in a marathon.
JJ, just remember, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
There you go.
Be the
Hey.
what is it? The tortoise, not the hare.
Yeah. Wait.
Yes,
Turtle,
yes,
be turtle.
For real, it's like a perfect structure for a cash game player. It's beautiful. Like I want to kiss the structure. So, but I'll let you guys go.
Thanks, JJ.
All right.
Thanks for checking in.
Good luck, dude.
Yeah,
See
for
ya.
sure.
Good luck.
All right, ciao, guys.
How good are we running with callers? We took 2 calls, and it was Destin and JJ.
Nick, JJ.
Well, we called Nick, but Destin and JJ,
Well,
we
I mean,
took 2
it
calls.
was understood, right? Yeah.
Yeah, let's just end it another. Oh, real quick before we go to the questions, Wayne,
Yeah.
you have some breaking news about the show Entourage.
Oh yeah. So if you go to if for the fans of Entourage, there's Vinny Chase, Johnny Drama, Turtle, and E and Ari Gold. So if you go to Randall Emmett's Instagram, he has a picture with Mark Wahlberg, and Randall thanks Mark Wahlberg. He's like, "Oh, thanks for picking me up to be your assistant." Blah, blah. And if you Google Entourage, Randall Emmett, Mark Wahlberg, and Entourage, there are several articles that allude to the fact that Randall Emmett is the inspiration for Turtle.
And so apparently Mark Wahlberg, it's Entourage is about his life.
Yeah,
And
it's
his
loosely
assistant,
based on his life.
and his
yeah.
assistant was named Turtle.
Yeah,
And that Turtle is actually Randall Emmett when he was younger.
yeah, it's
That's pretty crazy.
heavily hinted at. Yeah,
It makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
Too.
no, yeah.
We got a lot of calls coming in.
That's pretty crazy. Let's answer some questions in the chat, and then we'll get to some phone
All
calls.
right. Hang on the calls for a second, guys.
Yeah, we are. Well, okay. Rico JB said, for Ryan, after the floor ruling, why don't you man up and take the money? Why need to ask others, Garrett, etc.? Are you scared of Armenian Mike? No.
In the moment.
So in the moment, now looking back on it, it was pretty clear what to do. It was to be more aggressive, be like, Mike, you lost the hand, you got to give me money. Like, that's just how it works. If I bet, you call, you get the money. Just pretty clear, right? I was being very
I think you were
nice
shocked.
about it, and it was
you were
really
very
hard to
shocked.
explain my feeling in that moment where I didn't want to piss off Mike, and I didn't know if he actually did think in his mind that he was joking, or if he was just trying to angle for the money. And if I knew that for sure he was just using that as a last effort to save money, then I would be more aggressive. But I didn't know in the moment. It's really hard to know. And so I think because of that, I was trying to be nice to Mike and make sure that he wasn't pissed off. And I knew I was gonna get the money no matter what. And I also just didn't know what to do. I honestly, at the beginning, for a moment, didn't know what I'm supposed to do there if there's ever a situation where I should be letting Mike keep his money. But then once the time went on, I realized, hell no.
Yeah.
Once Garrett kind of talked a little bit. And I looked at Garrett in a moment like that because Garrett's so experienced in these spots in live poker, and I look up to Garrett.
Yeah,
I would say Nick, too. If Nick was in the game,
asked
I would have asked Nick as well.
You asked him like a big brother. Yeah.
Like other people in the game, I just those aren't
So-
the people that that I look up to ask these questions. Like I would look up to Garrett and Nick because those are the people that are most experienced in playing this Friday show, and that I trust and respect their opinions on.
And for the guys ripping on the people that didn't speak, it's a very awkward position to speak.
Super
like
awkward.
I've been in the position outside where we're propping and something's going down. The people involved talk it through. The foreman comes, and then if nothing happens, then the other people like quote quote can or should speak.
I've
But
been
it's
in-
up to them
Yeah,
first and foremost.
I
Unless it's
agree.
very clear that like something just happened wrong. Even though in this case it's kind of clear, the other people should not interfere. It's up to like you and Armenian Mike and the floor first and foremost. If that doesn't get settled, then other people can.
How
chime
many
in.
times have you been involved in a ruling when the floor came over that when you're in a hand and some guy that wasn't in the hand starts to speak up and you're like, dude,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Right.
Yeah. Because
Sorry
they
for my
don't
language,
they don't
but-
know what you want out of the situation.
Right,
Now,
so,
now
like,
to be
just
fair,
stay out.
To be fair though, if there is an injustice, I will speak up, and I don't.
I mean, a blatant one,
you
sure,
should
but
let
if
everybody
it's a
else.
gray area,
Well,
this
it's rare
was
you
blat-
stay out.
Yeah,
but there,
stay
there was
out.
there was one situation at Commerce years ago,
Yeah.
where in 510 where
Oh, you mean the other casino?
the other casino, where the Telegraph Road Casino, where there was a situation where it was I know the rules. I know the basic rules of poker. I'm very experienced with rules. It's one thing I can do is
You can be a
sometimes
floor man if you
now,
wanted,
yeah,
right?
or a dealer or whatever. You can criticize how I play poker, but I know the rules. I know the nuances of the rules, and I know how to calculate pot and PLO. I don't know how to shuffle though, but there was a situation where I knew the floor man was making the wrong ruling, and I kept calling him out and calling him out and calling him out, and I wasn't even involved in the hand, and maybe I shouldn't say something,
Yeah.
but I knew for sure
It's
he was saying
frustrating,
the
right?
wrong thing,
Yeah.
and I was just like, no, you're wrong, like, and I was trying to explain it to him, and he just wasn't seeing it, and then I was like, fine, whatever. He ruled it the wrong way, and then like 2 minutes afterwards, he's like, oh, now I see, you're right. I'm like,
When
think I'm
someone's
steering
in
you
a
the wrong way?
position
you
of
told me
power, they
about
don't want
this
to hear
one.
it.
I think you told me about
it was the
this one.
simplest thing ever.
Yeah.
It was just about whether or not a player can put in another raise or not.
Yeah, I
because
think
somebody
you,
was
you
all
talked
in.
to me about this. It was like a year ago.
And it was so clear in the floor man
Oh,
just
because
didn't
there
get
was
it.
the bet, and then they okay, I get it. Like
They didn't
was
raise
it
the full
pre-flop?
amount. Like they didn't raise the yeah, like it was pre-flop. They didn't raise the full amount, and it in an all-in you have to raise the full amount in order to reopen the raising.
action, yeah.
And reopen the action, and
But
it wasn't.
But the big blind doesn't count. That's the thing, right? Is that
No, it's just
Okay.
like if you're playing 5-10
yeah?
and say there's a raise to 80, and then someone goes all in for 140, the guy that raised to 80 can't put in another raise.
No, yeah,
It has to be 150.
no.
So that was the situation. The floor man didn't get it, and then 2 minutes later he was like, "Oh, okay, I see what you meant."
Yeah, he
now."
just didn't count right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There's been a bunch of. Why don't you take some non-Armenian mic questions?
well, there's probably not going to be any, but
Well, I mean,
No
come
poker
on.
games
I
today?
feel like
No.
you spoke your mind on it.
tomorrow we will have the
Yeah,
Annie
no.
game. Ramsey is likely to play tomorrow
Yeah.
and Thursday, hopefully. Annie game tomorrow. Wednesday is
PLO.
2-3 PLO. You'll be
Yeah,
playing, right?
I'm playing. Mike Yoshino's playing. Gene's playing. Matt Dornfeld, I think.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
have
know.
a. Oh, you do have a seat for Matt? Because
Yeah,
he
yeah. I
asked.
talked to him. Yeah.
Perfect.
I actually ran into him in Shinsengumi. It's
Perfect. Because
hilarious.
I wasn't sure if
I'll
we
play
had
two,
seats.
That's
three
okay.
PLO.
Don't- like it's up
If
to
you
Yoshi.
need a seat, Rams
yeah.
will play.
Or I'll tell Yoshi.
All right, let me know.
So there's a new 2-3 PLO game. Did it go today? No?
No, not today. Not yesterday, but it
So
will be
It's
consistent.
been going most days. A 2-3 PLO with a $5 bring-in.
323 has been calling.
All right, we'll
several
take it.
times.
We'll
All right.
gamble. 323 area code. You're on around the felt.
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure. Can you just turn down your background, please, and let us know?
If you're watching
Yeah.
the show, it echoes.
Yeah. Let it, who's calling?
This is C-Bone 10 calling.
Oh, what's
What's
up,
up,
C-Bone
C-Bone?
10?
Shout out to
a,
C-Bone 10.
a reg in the chat. What's up, man?
I just have to say I was watching the show, and I mean, I was just blown away. You know, that's all I got to say. I respect you, Ryan. I think you're a great commentator. I think the show's immensely turned around from where it was at. And, you know, I'm always in
Thanks.
YouTube watching. Yeah, I troll a lot, but it's all in love. But I'm just blown away with how that guy, Armenian Mike, treated you and treated the show. And,
Yeah.
you know, the show is a national brand. I love watching it. I'm fortunate to have the days off to watch it and to subscribe. And just as, you know, like I said, I know I troll around, I joke around in the chat a lot, but all in all, like, as a big, you know, subscriber, I just don't think that guy should be back, you know, and that's just me, you know, and I think I could contest with a lot of the people on YouTube, who are out there, Jeremy Starks, all the big guys that are always in the chat. But it's just like, enough's enough. You can't do that. It's not allowed. There's pros. Helmuth wouldn't have done that to Mattisau, vice versa. And, he did it to the wrong person. I think he did it to you because you have a nice big heart, and, that's the way you pay him back. I don't think that's cool at all.
Thanks.
So,
wait, are you Charles?
This is me.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait,
me,
I recognize your voice. Wait, we just played poker together today.
Yeah, you did. You got me
Oh,
today.
sorry,
too,
man. I
little
got you.
bastard.
I stacked
with
it.
that ace-9. With that ace-9 of spades, and I had jacks, and it was all low.
A7.
But I was just. Yeah, I was.
I was like, I know this voice. I was like, that's Charles.
Dude, have I played with Charles?
Yeah.
Maybe he plays 5-5 here sometimes.
I know C-Bone 10 from chat. That's
I
all
did not know that was you, man.
Yeah.
I know you're a big fan of the show because we always talk about the show when I see you. But I did not know that you were C-Bone 10 because you're always in the chat. That's awesome to correlate the two.
I love Wayne. I love Wayne. I love Ramsey.
Shout out.
You guys are great.
Yes.
But it's just I just wanted to voice my opinion. That's all.
You can always
like
troll
I'm not
me.
speaking for. Yeah. Oh, I always troll you.
Yeah.
You never sleep. But long story short, I love the show. You guys are great, and I'm just glad to. I hope it can go another 5 years because I've been watching it for so long, and I think it's at its pinnacle of being its best. And I'm sorry that happened to you, and I think we all learned something from that too, even as viewers. I was even like, man, if I was Sammy, I would have put my hand on the rack, brought it in, and then I would have let Ryan, split the chips in on the all-in. But, we don't have a time machine, obviously. But
right, it was just so quick how everything happened. It's hard, If
Yeah.
I took my time,
But,
if everybody took their time, then yeah. But it's such a quick thing that happens.
I think Sammy did a good job.
Yeah,
he stated his ruling.
But big ups to Garrett, man. That was awesome what he said, and the commentators even gave him props. I needed to be said. So thank you guys for letting me pick up the phone. I was calling like 7 times, and I was like, come
There's
on,
a lot of
pick up.
stuff going on.
And and I'm not going to diss on anybody, but I just think the brand, it's the best poker show out here right now on YouTube, and like I said, man, like you can't mess with it, you just can't do that.
Thanks so much, Charles C-Bone.
Yeah.
Like seriously,
and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate your support and like all the stuff you said. And without people like you, we wouldn't be able to do this. And I seriously, like 100%, like really appreciate what you've said and how you feel. And it definitely like I feel emotion from that just hearing the way you're talking.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
Yeah. No problem, guys. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna keep watching. My wife made some dinner. And I'm going to eat it. And if she asks me how much I lost today, I'm going to say I only lost 200.
Just say it went to a good cause. It went to the Armenian Mike Fund.
Yeah.
Just say I borrowed money. That's believable.
Exactly. Wayne, I love you
Tell
too,
her
man.
that Dick on Live with the Bike coolered you.
Yeah, it's all good. But I got coolered by someone good. I really started to get coolered by, some fake whale who's like, loving the camera. It was quick.
No,
I was
I'm
cool
a
with it.
real
I got
whale.
up. Yeah, you are. You sure are, dude. You are a real whale, dude. But, yeah, man, I'm going to get in the house, and you guys keep rocking it out, man. I love you guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. See you, C-Bone. It's kind of funny when you like hear someone and then I can figure out who it is. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, when you've been seeing them in chat for years. And
yeah, I had no idea, but I played with them today, so his voice was fresh in my mind. All right, let's see what other questions we have. Wayne, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them out if you see any.
No, just especially
we got another call.
When you pay this call.
Right,
around the felt, we answer a lot of things. Like, people don't know the behind the scenes. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes. They just see, what's on the
Try calling
screen.
again as 631.
If you see any questions, Wayne, in either Twitch or YouTube, just, save them. And
we just missed it. Call again, please.
I'll have something. I'll have my laptop next time so I could just put them all in.
AJ, real quick, I'll answer this call, the 631, but before we get to you, AJ said, 631, hang on one second. AJ Sweitel said, how do you guys feel about people saying they're scared to play the bike now? I don't think that should be a thing. I think that's an excuse. Look, this is an isolated incident. This isn't something that happens regularly. This could happen anywhere in poker, and we handled it perfectly. It's not about the incident because you can't control what people do.
Yep. It's
about how it's handled, right? Like, it was resolved. I got the money. We're not having him back on the show. That's what's important. It's not you can't control what people do. You can only control how you learn from it and react from it in the future.
And set the standard too.
I urge anybody that has that feeling to Google and go on Wikipedia or whatever's going to define it, mob mentality. And that's what you're getting right now. You're getting a bunch of mob mentality. Someone says an opinion on YouTube, someone that has some kind of, clout in the online community, and everyone's just sticking to their opinion and they're not really forming their own. So don't have a mob mentality. Put your fucking torches down. Relax.
Right.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go to questions from the callers. We have a lot of them. Just please do me a favor. We'd love to talk to you all night, but just make it quick. One question, and then once you ask the question, we're going to hang up and answer the question on the air, and then we'll go on to the next one. So 631, who we got?
Hey, Ryan. What's your favorite ice cream?
What? Come on, give me a better question than that.
Peaches and cream.
Mint
I'm
pistachio.
that lactose intolerant, man. You better give me a better question than that if you waited all that long.
All right, thank you. What about your favorite Twinkie brand?
All right. That was a weird call. Thank you.
I'm his favorite Twinkie
Why would
brand.
you waste your time? This is so
Oh,
strange.
you have a chance to ask an awesome question.
310, call again.
Yeah, we lost that one.
Call one more time, 310.
All right. That was
retarded.
Weird / funny, I guess. When will we have Johnny Vibe commentating again? We'll do it again whenever he's in town. Johnny was awesome.
He's a busy
Andrew,
guy.
too.
He's got his own vlog. He plays poker full time.
Yeah.
Seems like he's wiped up.
Let's see if there's any questions in the chat before we scroll up. I thought Joey Ingram did a good job. I thought he was very fair in his video. I was a little worried about how he would be in the video, but oh, by the way, this Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific / 2 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on Joey Ingram's podcast, on his Poker Life podcast. I'm going to be his guest.
But you won't be talking about
All it took was a controversial issue for me to finally be big time enough to be on Joey Ingram's podcast.
What do you mean? He would have had you anytime.
This Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific.
You said I almost made it one time.
You?
Yeah, when you had
on the Live the Bike
yeah.
show. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to.
There we go. 714.
714. You're on Live the Bike. I hope you have a better question than what my favorite Twinkie is.
Hey, Ryan. You're
What's
going to
going
be
on?
playing the you'll be playing the main event.
Who is this, first of all?
This is David.
What's up, David? Yeah, I'm going to be playing the main event.
Yeah, so if you're going to be playing at the main event, who would you like to run into, like the poker pros?
Who would I like to run into, like play with, or just?
Yeah.
Well, you know who I would love
like
to. Who would I like to see?
Yeah, like Phil Ivey, you got the big name, like Feldman, right? So.
Well, there's. All right, I'm just gonna hang up and answer your question. So I'll answer it on air. Appreciate it, David. Thank you for the call. The one person in poker that I haven't seen ever in person that I would love to run into and I would actually be starstruck, sort of, would be Tom Dwan.
I think Phil Ivey, if I was sitting at his table.
No, I'd be
but not if I
intimidated at
saw
his
him,
table.
because I've seen him several times. But
Right. But that would be cool to play with Phil Ivey, for sure. I've seen him once before. But Tom Dwan, I've never seen in person. To me, he might be a unicorn or Bigfoot or something.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Tom Dwan in person. I would try to get him live the bike, obviously. But to me, he is the star of poker in my eyes in terms of people that I've never encountered. Like, I've gotten to meet Helmuth and Negreanu, really cool people. I've never gotten to meet Ivy. He would be really cool. Tom Dwan, to me, the biggest star. I watched him since the mid-2000s, and I would go up to him like a fanboy if I saw him. He's the guy for me. What about you?
I gotta say, Tom Dwan's a good freaking pick, man.
He's just an enigma to me.
I gotta say, it's not one that everyone's gonna pick, but Sammy Farha, just because my old PokerStars screen name was inspired by him. It was Ramsey Farha.
Oh, nice.
Wow, you're going that direction.
Oh, it's because he has the same heritage.
Right, and it kind of like.
Is he from the same country as you?
Yeah, from
Lebanon.
Yeah, from my I was born here, but
Right.
yeah. He's just an action player, man, and I like it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see what else we got.
We had a call come in, but we didn't catch
Sure.
it.
Don't-
If you see it, just you can
Don't
answer.
It was
Blink
a
84
714.
asked Ryan, where did you go to junior high?
He asks that all the time.
Oh,
I grew up outside of Philly,
Oh, so he's from Philly.
the Chamonix Junior High. Jeff Wheeler said, "Did I know Kane Callis when I lived in Philly? I met him when I lived in Connecticut, and I came back to Philly to play in a Parks tournament once. The first time I ever saw him was in Connecticut at Mohegan Sun, and then I met him once at Parks. So I didn't know him when I lived in Philly, but I but when I lived on the East Coast, that's when I met him. So that was probably like 2013 or something.
King Callis is in several episodes in the archives, Live of the Bike.
All right, let's see what else we got. Come on, guys.
Let's get another call in. If you guys want to call, just call in. I'm
Yeah.
sorry we missed that last one.
What's going on in the World Series? What do we see lately?
I haven't seen too much any drama or anything like that.
What's going on in the World
There's-
Series,
there's
Wayne?
no-
Justin Bonomo won the 10K
Other
heads
than
up.
JJ telling
I just
Chris
see
Ferguson to
updates
go
from
F
there.
himself.
Yeah. What else? Dan Zach made a final table last week.
Yeah,
He made an
08.
Omaha final
Yeah.
table. Congrats to Dan Zach.
Shout out to Dan Zach.
He's in day 2 of a 10K right now, the Deuce 7 single draw.
That's a rough
I got a
game.
Uh,
question.
Sky Hunter says, are Mike allowed to come back to the show? No, he will not be back
No.
on the show.
You-
He's spending indefinitely.
What's my package size?
XXX.
Buy me a drink, I'll tell you.
They don't call him downtown Glendale for nothing.
Sammy Farhov spotted playing blackjack with Destin. True story. Hey, I got a question for you, Ryan.
Yep.
You might not want to answer it though, but I'm gonna
I'm
ask
not
it
going to tell you
anyway.
my package size is.
Who do you think the best player to ever play on Live with the Bike is?
The best player.
Bang bang.
So
You're gonna hurt some feelings right now.
No, not at all.
All right.
The best cash game player,
Okay.
or the best overall player.
Well, why don't you do both since you have different?
Well, I don't know. I
criteria.
don't really have different. I'm just trying to think.
If you say Phil Hellmuth,
No. It's really hard to define what best means, but
I know that's why it's a subjective question. That's why I'm asking you your opinion.
okay. So the best live deep stack cash game player, live uncapped cash game player, to me, in my opinion, is either Dan Zach or Ryan Fee.
I was gonna pick Ryan Fee.
I'll take Dan Zach.
Yeah.
Because I would have said Ryan Fee a few months ago, but watching Dan Zach play more and deeper over the last few months, he is as good as it gets to not making mistakes as anybody.
I think Dan's the best overall cash game player.
I think-
I'm not saying no limit
I
hold
think-
I'm saying just in general.
I think Dan makes the fewest mistakes of anybody that was played on the show. I think Ryan Fee knows where to get value as good as anybody. He finds the thinnest value spots and he bets polarized amounts for thin value and gets paid more than anybody. And so he's not scared to find those spots. And so I would say Ryan Fee or
Cool.
Dan Zach.
I've seen more of Dan Zach though, so
Not
it's
even-
easier
Right.
for me to say that.
Right, but I've seen Ryan Fee in some really good lineups, good games that we've had, and he's done really
And the
well.
style Ryan Fee plays, he's gonna get more action than Dan Zach.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah. But Dan can get away with more with his.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it's about the big pots, not what you can get away
Yeah.
with.
714, you are on Around the Feld. Who's calling?
Guys, this is Chris Miles, polarizing Chris. What's up,
Oh,
guys?
what's up, Chris?
Shout out to Chris.
Oh, I love you, dude.
We're running good on our callers
What's that?
today.
What's happening, guys?
No, first of all, what is the poker tip of the day today? Give us that, buddy.
Oh God.
Oh, why don't you give it to us at the end of
Well,
this
how about is the
conversation?
poker tip of the day when you go all in, don't joke?
Yeah. It's definitely, let's not push all our fucking chips into the middle and then say, "Oh, I was just kidding."
Yeah.
Definitely something along those lines.
Take poker seriously.
No, first of all, Ryan, I got to commend you on that. You handled that like a boss. That is the worst position to ever fucking be in, period. And I know, there's a lot of pressure on you guys to begin with, with the show and the regulars on the show and all that. But I just got to say, you personally, Ryan, handled it amazing. So
Thank you.
You got a
Appreciate
lot
it.
of respect from me on that, man.
Thanks. I mean, it's really just like it's not like I planned how to act in that moment or how to react. Like it's
how
just
could
how
you?
I am. Like this is just my
I mean-
natural reaction. This is like how I decided that I'm going to act in that moment. Like it's not fake. It's not rehearsed. That's just how I will treat that situation. I don't know. I just that's just the type of person I am. I'm not planning this. This was my instincts of what to say and what to do, and these were my natural emotions in the moment. But I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, and then here's my question is, are you surprised it got the national attention that it did?
So I said right afterwards to the table, I said, guys, I realized, I said, this is going to be talked about a lot. This is probably going to be the biggest thing in poker by tomorrow. I knew how much attention the Harry thing got the running it twice, and this to me was like
Yeah.
way bigger, way worse. And so I didn't do anything to make it big. I didn't do anything to stop it from getting big. I just kind of went to sleep that night, and Joey had posted it, I think that night, I believe, and
It was like an hour after.
yeah,
I mean,
and
it wasn't
because of
even that
that,
long
it
after.
blew up because of Joey. Thanks, Joey. And and you know, by the next day, it was the biggest thing. It was like it didn't get on NVG on 2+2 till probably the next morning or afternoon.
Is it on there right now?
Oh, it's the top. It's
yeah.
been the top thing
Yeah.
since Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. They just they resumed the thread on the Harry thing.
Sure.
And you know, it blew up on social media, and I knew it was going to be big, and I knew it was possibly going to be the most talked about thing the next day, but I didn't know it was going to be quite as big as it got and have articles and all of that. So I didn't know, and I kind of like feel bad for Mike because it's like just it's ruining his credibility, I guess, because he's going to keep playing poker. I don't know how much he cares, but I kind of feel bad for Mike, but he did it to himself. You know,
Yeah.
to me, the worst thing is just like anybody who thinks it something negatively of the bike or of our show, because I don't think it should reflect our show or the bike at all. This is one person. We had to handle it as best as possible. It was a, you know, it was a situation that is not normal.
So all the critics like calling out live at the bike. I mean, this is just what happens in an LA cash game.
Yeah.
You guys never came and played
It's
This is
poker.
worse
normal.
other places. It's way
I
worse other
I
places.
made a comment on the Poker News page like the day that it broke on their Instagram and Twitter, and my whole comment, my take on it was that, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with the bike casino or any of the. I mean, this happens on a regular everywhere in LA. I've played in every casino in LA, and I see this kind of stuff. Maybe not to that degree, but I see this kind of stuff constantly. So, I mean, the fact that anyone would say it's the bike's fault or it's live at the bike, like, they're just being ignorant. Like, that's just being stupid, personally. But on top of all that, I don't think this would deter anyone from playing at the bike. You're talking about one person did this. Like, it's one person doing one thing, and to cast a shadow on the whole place is ridiculous.
Yeah. It was an outlier. It's not normal, but things do happen in LA poker and poker in general. And you know, it's good that we, as Live at the Bike, kind of can show people what might happen in a poker game. Right? It's not fake. It's real. It's not scripted. Like this is.
If you want to keep watching edited streams
Yeah,
where everything's like happy-go-lucky,
exactly.
go ahead.
Where you
This
lecture
is-
the players
this is
beforehand
cash
what to
game
do
poker.
and what not to do and
Right.
what to say. No, we just throw the people in there and whatever happens happens. And honestly, like the way our cameras are set up, we don't really think about this much, but if you think about it, the way our cameras are set up in that room, people forget that they're on stream.
Yes,
And they don't-
Yeah.
I do all the
So
time.
if
I
we
say
ha-
some stuff I regret.
If we had so think about it. In other shows, they have cameramen where they have
And it's
stationary
like
cameras.
circling all over the
Yeah,
place. Yeah.
and or they have a camera above us, right? If they had that on our show, people would act a little differently because there's a lot of lights, there's cameras, right? But we just have two big lights. It's a table. The poker room's right there.
The
and we
cameras
have-
are in the corners.
These are like small cameras, if you haven't been in the Live at the Bike room, that look like webcams. And they're in the wall. And they're just manually operated through back here in the control room. And so when you're in that room, and you guys can speak for it because, Ramsey, you play on the show a lot, like most of the time, are you thinking about that you're on stream?
Not at all. Sometimes I say something and I'm like, I
mean,
take,
I do it all the
like,
time.
I realize it, you know, seconds after. I'm like, oh shit, people are listening.
I
to
mean,
what
how
I'm saying.
often do I offend? How often do I offend a large group of people in a demographic?
I mean, you offend me on the daily. so
Same.
But yeah, it's you know, that's just how it is. I mean, and it sucks that people had to see that happen, and we didn't expect that to happen. But
I don't know. It sucks. It's like this happens sometimes. Now the world's aware of it. and
right.
just deals with
So
it.
there's
Yeah,
always a
it's
silver
not-
lining,
Yeah.
is what I mean. It's about how do we handle it going forward,
Nobody died.
right? Like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Shout out to Kanye.
That
Yeah.
okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
I
what
need to
doesn't
stop
kill you
doing
makes
that.
you stronger. So we're just going to learn from it, and we're going to improve going forward, and we're going to adapt, and you know everybody involved learn from it. So that's all that matters, really. I mean, we're good. Like
Well,
we still
the
have a
way-
show, we
like-
still
like
have
I said,
players. We're good.
The way that you handled it, just the way that it went down, because I watched it live, but I didn't really realize what was happening until it blew up, until someone, until it got publicized. Then I looked back and I was like, wow, this is going to be really big freaking news. But the way just like that you handled it, it couldn't have been handled better. So, I mean, you did a good job. That's all I got to say. I'm out.
Shout out to Chris Miles.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big of a deal it was either, in the moment. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. All right, Chris, thank you.
Successors Revenge
What
asked.
happened here? Jesus.
I don't
We had
know.
a little
Hey,
bit
are
of
you guys still
technical
see us?
difficulties.
Can you guys confirm in the
Yeah,
chat
it's
that you
right
still
here.
see us?
Here.
Okay.
Or I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Our monitor went off.
live.
Yeah. Just chat. Confirm you still see us right now. We're just trying to fix the monitor. Okay, yes. All right, we're just turning the monitor back on. I went to sleep. There we go.
Okay, there you go.
Other call.
Oh, what is going on here?
So successors.
Is there a cord loose or something?
I don't know. I'll check in the back. Hang on.
Anyway, for the third time, Successors Revenge asked if Wheezy and the Wayne are coming back. We are going to be on this Thursday. We were scheduled 2 times last week, but Wheeze had something to do, so it was just me. We got some new material to
Snap. That's not good.
put out. Yeah,
We'll see in a
it's
second.
good. We're gonna. Ryan puts us in as much as we can, but there's a lot of
It's still out. Fuck.
like scheduling. It's just like
Hold on.
not
wait.
that predictable.
It's blue right now. Oh my god, what is going on? Guys, you see us, right? Yeah, they see. That doesn't. Does that take us off the air? No, because it's just a mirror monitor. Yeah. He's really wrong. Thanks. We see you ugly.
C110, what's a new restaurant spot? Not real. I bring a lot of people to my old spots, like Shinsengumi and Monterey Park. I also ask these guys if they want to go. Ramsey loves pho. I was going to take him to Golden Deli. I love Pizzeria Moza, Suwon Kalbi. I just happened to film, Brazilian barbecue. But yeah, I think earlier in the chat, like, we can have like a live at the bike gathering at Brazilian barbecue, Korean barbecue, and for the fans or commentators and whoever wants to join us. Technical difficulties, technical malfunctions.
All right. Don't blink. I said I went to Neshaminy Junior High. Stop. So, why is
I
that
don't
so
know. I just see a lot of questions, so I'll record them next time.
Okay. What else we got here? Jeremy Stark, thank you for the support. Appreciate it.
Pot Lemon Omaha on Wednesday, Wheezing the Wayne coming out Thursday. We've got some stuff to come out with. And,
Richard Greenberg, thank you very much. No, guys asking, I have not talked to Mike. He has not called me. I've not called him. I'm not going to reach out to him. If he reaches out to me, we'll talk. But I've not talked to him. Yeah, that is my answer for that. I said there's gonna be 5. I think I said this to you yesterday, Ramsey. Right? There's gonna be 5 reactions, if I remember all of them. There are 5 reactions that might happen from Mike. One is, and I don't know which is most likely or least likely. One is he's going to call me and be upset. One is he's going to call me and apologize. So that's 2. 3 is he's going to. Let's see, we're good right now. Let's see if it stays. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, Ramsey. 3 is, so 1, he's going to call me and be upset. 2 is he's going to call me and apologize. 3 is he's going to call me and act like nothing happened and just say like, oh, you got a game tomorrow. 4 is he's going to never call me again. And 5 is, what's my other one? Do you remember what the other one was?
I don't know, but I can just guess the last one.
What?
That he's just gonna be in.
Oh, no, that he's going to call me and just say like, I'm never playing again.
Oh.
So those are the 5. I don't know, what do you guys think is the most likely or least likely thing?
4 is the least likely.
Which one was 4?
It's not going to call. He's definitely going to contact you again.
Okay.
I disagree.
You really? You think it's overs?
Okay, so if I put myself in this position and I kind of messed up, I would be embarrassed.
Forever is a long time.
Right? And I would ask other people that I was close to what the general reaction is. And I would try and kind of like take that in, and based off the consensus from basically everybody, it's not a good one. So I would just stay away a little bit.
So you're saying he's basically banned from the bike because Ryan and I hear like almost every day.
He's saying he might ban himself and just not come back.
310.
All right, 310. You are on live at the bike around the Feld. Who's calling?
Hey, what's going on? This is Brian Park.
What's up, Brian? How's it going? Thanks for calling.
Hey, man. Good guys. Good guys. Obviously, you guys were talking about what happened at the 25-50 game with Armenian Mike and Ryan, and obviously, I agree with everything, all the callers about supporting how Ryan handled it. Again, I agree also with what you guys are saying about these things happen all the time at LA Cash games. Unfortunately, they happen, but I think the fact that you guys streamed it was a good opportunity for us viewers to kind of see how it's handled and what goes down from the player side and even from the floor, and there's just the whole thing. So I think, Ryan, you handled it completely cool. And again, I'm kind of echoing with what other callers said about Garrett. I think Garrett was kind of the one voice of reason, at least on the player side. And I think if he didn't interject and kind of said what he said, it looked like he probably even calmed down Armenian Mike a little bit. Just by kind of, and maybe it's because he has obviously a very good reputation, great player, and so forth. But the reason why I'm calling in is, obviously, Armenian Mike's getting a lot of kind of negative flack, and he certainly hasn't. I think you mentioned at the beginning of the show he hasn't. You guys haven't spoken to him, or he hasn't kind of shared his side of it. And he's obviously been good for the show. I was wondering if he ever reached out to Ryan or any one of you guys and kind of gave his side and obviously owned up to the fact that he screwed up. Would he ever be let back onto the show?
Yeah, I don't want to like say what could happen way down the road, but for now he's not going to be playing on the show. So like I said, indefinitely, because I don't want to, who knows what's going to happen 2 years from now. He comes out with a public apology and, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say what might happen, but I want to say right now he's not playing on the show, and we're not going to have him on the show. We're not inviting him to play on the show, and that's our stance right now, and he's not going to be playing anytime soon. Again, I don't, like, anything's possible. Like, Hashtag King's not allowed to play on the show, but, like, who knows what's going to happen down the road, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Sure. Maybe he turns into a priest and, plays in a
I think
charity
he'd
game.
be a rabbi, but okay.
Yeah, well, then there'd be a bigger change. He'd become a priest, right? So I'm just saying, like, I'm joking, but I'm just saying that I never want to say, like, we play poker, right? So you should never say never or always, right? Everything.
Shout out to Dan Zach. He said that.
Everything is always a 1% chance. Like, this guy's never bluffing here. This guy always has it here.
Yeah.
This guy never has a full house here. Just like there's
Space
never
down
and never
cards.
or always. And I want to say that he's not playing on the show. He's indefinitely suspended from the show. But, like, who knows when we have a different regime in 2034 and Mike's 112 years old, what happens?
Okay. I mean, I'm just going to say this. I mean, what he did was I mean, it's worse than angling. It's certainly one of the worst things that you could possibly do in a game, especially in a game in that stake. However, mistakes happen. I mean, I think part of learning poker, at least for me, I've been playing for about 7 years, still learning the game, not playing as high stakes as you guys are, but just even playing in the 5-5 and 5-10 game, you guys, I see a lot of mistakes are always made. So, granted, you guys, it's your show. You guys have a brand to protect. It's certainly integrity is super important, and what he did cross that line. But I admit, as a fan, I think he certainly, and I'm just kind of speaking devil's advocate, and because most of the callers that called in are all, and they're not wrong, but I also like to always give the person who makes a mistake in a cash game or any type of setting, tournament or whatnot, mistakes happen, and I think if the guy owns up to it, admits he screws up, it wouldn't. In my opinion, it wouldn't be. I think as a viewer, I'd be cool if he came back on the show. So that's all I.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to say like a definite. It's like it's indefinitely, and I don't know that Mike is that type of person that would apologize and feel bad about the situation. But who knows? And if he does, it doesn't mean we're going to let him back on, But things happen who knows? He buys us a flower basket, whatever.
We don't need it. Ramsey and I are good.
I just want some of the cookies from the flower basket.
Yeah, you can have the cookies. I'm trying to stay away from sugars, even though I just ate a cookie. But yeah, no, seriously,
All right, well-
I don't want to say any definites, but right now he's not going to be on the show. And honestly, we got a lot of great players who want to play on the show, who are welcome to play, who have great integrity and are great action and are welcome to play, and they're good people like Ramsey here.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, for sure. And
I was going to say,
so
except Ramsey,
yeah,
but-
thanks.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
So, anyways, thanks for taking my call. Take care,
Thank you
guys.
for supporting us. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.
So to add on the Dan Zach and Ryan Fee thing, talking to Dan Zach, he actually plays more games than me, and the knowledge depth is way beyond mine, and I'd consider myself pretty fundamentally sound in like a lot of games. He has the highest knowledge base in all the poker games that I've ever seen, and that's a pretty big field. But Ryan Fee is probably the best in like execution. That's
we were just talking no limit hold'em deep stack cash games.
Okay.
No,
Right, we're talking about.
I think my question was kind of broad, but I would like to know both.
If you just said overall poker, it's Dan Zach hands down.
Yeah.
Because to me, like, Dan Zach is
should've
one
been
of the
more
best
specific.
in overall poker, and I think the best is Paul Volpe, who hasn't been on a show, but I'm
I
saying
don't-
he's the best.
yeah.
And Dan Zach is on similar to his level overall, and Dan Zach plays on our show. So overall poker player, Dan Zach's the best. No limit deep stack cash game player specifically, Ryan Fee. Dan Zach's probably right there.
Yeah.
To me, that's the case. All right, we got a couple calls coming in here. We'll take the 949. 810, hang on, we'll get to you next.
Cash game player specifically.
Oh, 949, if you
Ryan.
could turn down your background, we'll take your call. What's going
We
on?
got a couple calls coming in here. We'll take the 949. Yes, this is Tommy.
Hey, Tommy, what's going on? What do you got? All right, good talk. See you out there. That was Tommy.
Is that Mr. Hilfiger?
All right, we'll take there was another call that was coming in. We'll take that one.
I'll be back again.
Yeah, I've only played.
C-Bone said get Stealthbone back on. We could just call him randomly from Skype. 810. 810, you're on live at the bike around the felt. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing? It's Brad. So I just have a
Brad
quick question for you guys. So I actually currently just quit my job about 2 weeks ago to try to pursue poker.
Awesome.
I was just wondering what your guys' best advice would be for something like that.
Well, it depends what level you're on right now, Brad.
Well,
where are
mainly
you
I'm
at
just
poker?
sticking to the 1-2 or online poker for now.
So you're how many hands have you played? How much experience do you have? What do you think your experience level is? Do you often think you're the best player in the game? Are you break-even player? What is your experience?
Well, I've actually been playing poker for about 12 years. It's been kind of being like a side thing for the longest time. I definitely do pretty good at the stakes I play. Like I said, I mainly just play 1-2 at the casinos, and then like I play maybe like $10 to $50 buy-ins online.
For tournaments or
Sit and go.
Or you mean
Yeah,
or cash games?
Tournaments.
So
yeah.
so Brad, I would say to study hard. If you quit your job, it's a big risk, but you need to use that extra time that you have now to study, not necessarily to play more yet. So you want to really get into the lab, so to speak, which means you want to find some ways to learn. I think Live the Bike is one way you can learn by watching a lot of our streams and really breaking down the sessions, listening to what we're saying, and watching the hands and seeing how people play, and really emulate the players that you think are the best players at the table. And that could be any stakes from 2-3 to 100, 200. They're all very important just to watch how they play and to understand why they're doing what they're doing. You can go to a site like Crush Live Poker or like Upswing Poker, and you can learn more intricacies of how to play and how to know when to c-bet or what hands to play free flop and things like that. I would say it's very important to find some friends, to really set a goal to meet good poker players. When you sit in a game and you really like how someone plays and you think it's someone you can get along with, try to like meet them and ask them questions and be like, "Oh man, like what's your name? Like what's going on?" The better circle that you create in poker, the better you're going to be. I don't know any poker players who are great who have no friends. You have to have a great circle. The Germans in tournaments, like they're great because they have each other and they all make each other better. So that's very, very important. I think any good poker player will say that for sure. I think that's really important. And stick to your stakes until you have the money to play higher stakes and that you consistently beat it. Once you consistently beat it and you feel like you can consistently beat it, and that you have enough money to play at the higher stakes, move to the higher stakes. Set a goal for yourself to get to 5-5 or 2-5 or 3-5, whatever it is at your casino, because it's really hard to beat the rate consistently at 1-2 and 2-3. If you get to the 2-5/5-5 level, that's the first level when you can really beat the rake if you're a good player. So set that goal, find a way to get there. Those are the things that I would recommend.
Did he ask how to get better?
Yeah, how to he just is going to become a pro, and he wants to know.
Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you in the industry you're in. It doesn't matter what industry.
Right, exactly.
And you should succeed if you're open-minded.
Sure.
You mind if I ask one more quick question?
Sure.
It's how do you get the point across to your girlfriend that it can actually be a solid career?
Break up with her.
I've never had to do that. I don't think anybody. Well, Wayne maybe. Oh, have you had that issue?
Of course.
I haven't. You haven't because it's not your career. So.
I've had issues just playing it.
That's actually.
No, I have had issues.
That's actually an easier issue to deal with than dating a poker player. But really, like, if she doesn't accept it after like a certain amount of explanation, it's just not going to work. Either your poker career is going to go downhill, or the relationship's not going to work.
Yeah, honestly,
that's just the truth.
Like a real girlfriend, the girlfriend that's for you, the wife that's for you, is the one that's going to support you no matter what you're doing, and because they're going to support you for who you are, not for what you're doing. As long as you're living and you're supporting her and you're supporting yourself and you're making some money, and even more important than all of that, the only thing that matters really is like, are you happy? Now, all those factors lead to you being happy, right? But now, making money leads to you being happy. Enjoying your time with your girlfriend makes you happy. Living life makes you happy. Enjoying your job makes you happy. But all that matters is, are you happy? And if you're happy, then who cares about anything else?
I think he's asking for more direct advice. So have you actually tried to explain this to her?
Yes, I have.
In what way?
Like I said, I have been playing poker for a long time, and I've been doing fairly well. And to be honest with you, a lot of my girlfriends that I've been with weren't really on page with it because they didn't know anything about it whatsoever. So I actually ended up getting jobs a lot of the time. And obviously, but me personally, like, I actually live with really bad anxiety, and like I can't do a real 9 to 5 job or 7 to 5. So poker is obviously very stressful. It can be stressful, but when, like, a lot of times when I'm at work, I have these anxiety attacks, and like I honestly, it's hard for me to even hold a steady job. So that's why I feel like poker is a pretty good because I can work my own hours and stuff like that. But obviously it's a big gamble. But I have been doing pretty well. I'd say I've been averaging about the same as my jobs have been. My
are you
hourly.
keeping good records? Are you keeping really good records?
I used to. Not so much lately for my live play, but obviously online it's pretty easy to keep track. But I play on Ignition, so it's like you can't really use poker trackers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I would say just be humble, and be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself and tell you that you're better than you are. Be honest, be humble, and that's going to help you a lot to be successful, because no matter what you think, you're none of us are that good.
And this
there's always better players, and you need to figure out how to become the best player you can be.
This might not be the most popular take on it, but I think that you should not make your girlfriend the focus of your life. I think that she should complement your life.
Right,
and vice versa. So if she doesn't support you,
right,
you do what you want and find another one.
That's why I said being happy is the most important thing. So if she can't support that you're the happiest by doing this, then
it's not.
Then she's not for you. Like, all that's important is you're happy. And if this makes you happy, because like if you lost all your money, you're obviously not going to be happy, right? So, but if you're surviving and you're enjoying yourself, then you're going to be the most happy. And if you are the most happy you can be, then she should be supporting you. And that's all that matters. If she doesn't, then move on to the next one.
Don't put it up on a pedestal. You'll find another.
Don't put what on the pedestal?
The person.
All right, thanks, Brad. Appreciate it. And good luck, and keep us posted how you're doing.
All right, thank you. And I wasn't trolling. The stat seems to be like I was.
Doesn't
But I
seem like you were
appreciate it.
trolling at all, man.
No,
It
for
seemed
sure.
like a real
Just-
question.
No, it's a real question.
Yeah, and just be humble. And
I'm older than these
and
guys,
we
so I
we seriously
know.
wish you luck. It's not easy, but work hard and you'll get where you want to be.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. See ya.
Yeah, we're doctors, Ron.
Yeah, don't worry about it. This is Dr. Goodlove right here.
Dr. Good D. From Glendale.
Oh, man.
Something's taken too far.
All right.
So let's see. What do we got the rest of the week? We got a fun any game. Usual suspects tomorrow. Eli, John. Abe actually will be here tomorrow too.
I'll be in.
Eli, John, Abe, and Ramsey. How can you not watch that show?
Psychopaths.
Chris.
Just a bunch of serial killers at the table.
Yeah, Harry. How can you not watch that show? Oh my God. Wednesday we got 2-3 PLO. Thursday we got 510. Friday we got 2550. Garrett Edelstein, aka the Mediator.
You got 2 calls, man.
Oh my God! All right, I thought we were gonna end it, but I guess
2
we got
calls at the same time.
That's the goal.
Take it.
817. You're on around the Feld. Who's calling?
This is Herman.
What's going on? How you doing, Herman?
Where you from, Herman?
I'm from Texas. So
What's up?
my
What
big
do they call that?
question
The Show Me State? No, I'm just kidding.
Lone Star, bro, Republic, man.
What's going on?
Well, my biggest question is, what do you consider a consistent winner?
What do I consider a consistent winner? Somebody that, what do you call a consistent winner? Somebody that wins 60% plus their sessions. Somebody that wins at least 3/4 of months. Something like that,
somebody that has over 1,000 hours of a sample size, so that you can actually base it on something real and not just running good or bad.
Right, yeah.
Way more than that.
There's a lot of answers
I said
for
at
that.
least, so, I mean.
Yeah, it's like somebody that's playing, at least 20 hours a week. Somebody that's consistently, somebody that's, like I said, is winning like 3/4 of months, 60% of sessions.
Someone
I would
that's
say
honest with
pretty important.
themselves.
Yeah.
Someone that tracks their sessions, period.
Yeah, a lot of answers, but something like that.
What about you? What do you think?
I tend to agree. That's where I play a very low variance strategy, to where I end up either being down about maybe 2/3 of buy-in or up to 2 buy-ins.
Ah, so you're in
The
hit.
problem with me is,
I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah, it happens whenever you. Well, I'm mostly I don't like having a job, so I have very low variance strategies when it comes to that. But my main problem is finding the time to play, because the casino is an hour and 30 minutes from me.
Oh. I would say find a good friend to travel with. If it'll make the commute a little easier. But yeah, I mean, if you're that far away from a casino, it's just gonna be rough either way.
Yeah, WinStar is a very tough place to play whenever you're playing 1-3s, even though you get like 6 to 12 tables depending on when you go. But I can find the best tables. My biggest strength is usually just reading people, which is why it tends to come a little bit lower variance than it does. But I can get bluffed sometimes. That was just my main question.
So do you track your sessions?
I do track my sessions.
Yeah.
My average sessions ends up being about 4 to 8 hours. I try to go long periods of time, but I know whenever I'm getting tired and when I need to leave.
That's a lot of discipline, and I think it's really underrated in poker. So, hats off to you.
Yep. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. By the way, it's just it's just pretty cool. You never know who's watching. Like Garrett Adelstein is watching our show, so it's pretty cool. Like Garrett's the man. He's the guy on Live with the Bike, and he was
626. You're on the line. Can you turn your background down, please?
Hello.
Hey, can you please turn the show off in the background, because it's giving us an echo. There you go.
Okay.
Who's
Can you
this?
hear me
Who's
now?
calling? Yeah.
Hi, this is Sean in the chat. Sean Chern.
What's up, Sean? How's it going, man? Thanks for the support.
Hey, thanks for picking up my call. Big fan. I just found the Live at the Bike show earlier this year. I used to be a big poker fan back in the Boom World Series of Poker. Now it's like re-sparked my interest. I'm looking to get back into playing. I just had a question about, if you guys had like a $2,000 bankroll, would you want to start playing like the 5-5 right away, or what would you do if you had $2,000 in your bankroll? How would you start going about it?
No. My first question is your bankroll replenishable? Okay. That's
Yeah,
my question. We'll go from there.
I'm currently working and I'm saving money, but I'm just wondering what's the best way to do it. Should I hop in straight up to the 5-5, or should I start trying to grind 1-2, or play some tournaments, or what's going on?
Well, what's your poker background? How much have you played?
I played a little bit tourney. I played once Commerce, the daily tournament. I took down first place there. I think I took out like 1,400 playing that. But as far as cash games, I'm fairly new to cash games. But I have studied a lot, and I do watch a lot of poker too. But just live experience, not that much.
So I think the lowest beatable game is spread right here at the bike is the 100 to 300 2-3 no limit hold'em, and the reason I say that is every other LA casino has a cap at like either 20 big blinds or 33 big blinds if you want to play anything under a 5-5. And you probably want to play at the deeper stacks tables so that you can beat the rake as small as you can go. Anything under 2-3 in LA is just you're not going to beat the rake long term. It is important that you.
So if I'm buying in at the 2-3 game at the bike, should I buy in like minimum, like 100 or 300, or what would you do?
I recommend to always be able to buy in the maximum any game you play.
So I like to answer that too. I in every cap game I play, or every uncapped game I play, almost always, unless I know what's going on, I buy in for the minimum, and I see what's going on at the table, and that way, if I don't really know what's going on, I'm not going to be put in too tough spots with the minimum buy-in. But if I feel like I understand the dynamic, I'll add on. I'll go from there. I'll put more money on the table, because now I kind of know what's going on and I'm comfortable. So I don't know if that's going to work for you, but it seems to help me out. What do you think, Wayne?
I don't think $2,000 is nearly enough.
Well, I asked him if his bankroll's replenishable, and if he lives in LA, he can't beat 1-2 no limit because no one can.
And I don't think
the rake's too high.
Like playing the 2-3 to 1-300 buy-in, like you could be a winner in the game, but the amount you win is just not going to be enough. Like there can be times where the game conditions are probably worth $25 or even $30 an hour, but those are the exceptions, not the norm.
There's a lot of really good posts about your question on 2+2. If you want to check that out, just search their archives.
Okay, great. And just like the last little question, I'm kind of confused as far as like taxes go and stuff. Do you guys like report your taxes after you guys win the cash game, or how does that go? How does the government find out?
I'll defer this to the professionals. I'm just a recreational player.
Wayne.
You're breaking up. I can't hear the question. No, now that Ryan and I play for the house, we
don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about it too much. Like it's.
But if you are a cash game player, it is up to you to let the your tax person, your IRS, know how much money you're making. And
what a question, man! What a question.
It is up to you to track your own money.
So you can kind of just not tell anybody and just walk out and just.
We're not going
to condone or say anything.
Yeah,
we're just say it's up to you to report on your taxes how much money you made.
You represent your hand however you want, brother.
And your position in life jurisdicts a lot, because like I used to be a student, and certain things happen. Now that Ryan and I are employees at casino, it's a different option.
Just know that you're the only person who knows how much money you made for the year.
Right.
All right. Well, thanks so much for answering my question. I'm gonna let someone else get a call in. You guys keep up the work, and I'm a really big fan.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you. I just saw a tweet earlier. Did you guys see this? Hold on one second. We'll get to it. All right, I'll answer this 225. But Doyle Brunson announced his retirement from poker and said this is the last year he's playing, the last World Series.
I almost shed a tear. I saw it on Instagram.
R.I.P. Doyle.
Shed so many tears.
Doyle Brunson.
And I responded, play on live at the
How sick would that be if he won a bracelet as like his last year?
He did say that he can play and he's capable. It's that his wife is in ill health.
Yeah.
And that she doesn't go to sleep until he gets home. So cash games, he's not quitting. He's not quitting poker. He's just quitting
tournaments.
Yeah, because a lot of times if he goes deep, like he's there till 3 a.m.
Awesome. 225 area code. You're on around the fell. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Johnny. I'm from Louisiana.
What's up, Johnny? Shout out to food inside of food.
Just got a quick question for you guys. I'm used to playing on the online game, and so when I go live table, it's super, super, super slow. Do you guys have any advice? I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to have a couple of drinks when I play, so and that makes me sort of get into hands when I shouldn't. Or what do you guys think about that?
I think you should just have fun. Like, online and live are so much different. Live poker, to me, is a social game. I'm there, like, enjoying it, interact with people at the table, talking, trolling with people, having fun, making new friends. That's me. Like, talking trash, whatever. Just have fun. Some people, the way they pass time is listen to music, listen to a podcast, whatever it is, in their headphones, watch a movie. I've seen some nits watch movies at the table. I like to talk at the table, and that's how I find time in between hands. So some people get a massage. Yeah, if you have ADD, like, you know, you got to find something to do. Wayne, I know I've seen him, like, he'll pull out his iPad and watch porn.
Oh, damn.
He watches interracial porn on his iPad. But that's just him. Don't take his advice.
Yeah. Do what I say, not what I do.
Well, just kidding. But, you know, that's only at 3 a.m. But
yeah, but I kind of feel like the games are completely crushable, too. Like, a lot of people are just limping all day long, and I feel like there's a lot of positions to be exposed there.
So you just need to exercise your discipline muscle, dude. Like,
Yeah,
you need to realize what you're getting into and be okay with it. So if you don't have the patience, understand that and be honest with yourself. And if you do want to gain the patience, maybe write down a little journal of, like, what's going on in your head and why you, like, don't have it, and do some introspective thinking. But
here's something I stress too. There's a big difference between being a winning player and playing for a living. Like, you could be a winning player in, like, a lot of games, and it might not be enough to make a living. And if you take a downswing and then you just, like, life explode after that, you really should not, you know, do it for a living. I mean, not you.
You're right, though. There's a lot of weak play to take advantage of.
Difference.
But just understand that it's going to be boring sometimes too.
Yeah, so, like, crushing them in your spare time and eking out whatever you can win, that's a completely different story from playing for a living.
If you're not having fun at the table, you should probably leave.
Yeah, for sure. Like, enjoy your time there. It's a privilege to be able to play.
The second you get frustrated, just say, "Hey, man, like, I don't need to do this. I'll go play on Ignition," or whatever you do. So.
Yeah, I'm not like the last people that, like, can't have a job because I want to try to play online and all that, you know. I have a full-time job, but I feel like there's a lot of places and a lot of positions live that I can really expose, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I got to take the time out to really spin there and just sit there, you know, and fold hands until I, you know, can have a advantageous position.
I can relate to you. I work 40 to 60 hours a week, man. So, you know, you'll see me on the show. I'm off work that day, like in the evening, and I look for good games. And if I don't find good games, I leave.
Exactly.
Because I don't need it. Like, I don't need to grind it out. So
exactly.
If you don't need to grind it out, just play when the game's good. Be okay if it's not. Just bounce.
That makes sense. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thanks for the support. Appreciate it. Shout out to Louisiana. Fleur-de-lis all day. All right, let's wrap it up. I got to pee and I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry too.
Ramsey fed me 2 Crown and Gingers, and
we got the drunken munchies over here, boys.
Ramsey, is that for pho?
I got to urinate like Smarty Jones circa 2003. Anyway, so yeah, Ramsey will be on the show tomorrow. Wayne will be on the show Wednesday. I don't know when I'll be playing the show next, but I'm not going to quit playing on the show because
I might be on all week.
Why not?
I might join him.
Yeah,
on Wednesday.
that'd be awesome. Yeah, it's Ramsey week every week here on Live at the Bike.
If anything, I'm really, actually proud that Ryan plays on as many shows as he does, and you know, we should all play as much as we can because some commentators don't. They just like talk out of their ass.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm here, man.
He's real. He's
Luckily, I've been running good on the show too.
Ryan plays on a lot of shows.
I was getting crushed on the show for a little bit, and then I started.
Crush or not, it's just like just being there and like playing on the show. That's just plenty. Like it doesn't matter.
And I'm not a nit. Like I'm there to bring action and show what I can do.
Sure.
If you're not a nit, you wouldn't invite yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you guys want to play on Live at the Bike, bring the action, you'll get invited again.
Bring the action.
No,
I know there's other
bottom
calls
line.
coming in, but I want to wrap it up because it's been 2.5 hours, and people got to go spend time with their wives, and Wayne's got to go do his hair, and Ramsey's got to sleep for the
What
morning.
hair?
And,
Oh.
I got to pee. And
Don't tell me what I got to do.
Oh.
But hey, save your questions in the chat and the calls, and call us next week because we're gonna have another great Around the Feld show next Monday. Me and Wayne will probably be here again, and it'll be fun. So
Yeah, we appreciate all the thumbs up. Like
the discussion doesn't end. The discussion goes on from day to day, week to week, right? Like
Yeah.
whatever we're talking about now, we'll continue the conversation next Monday. It doesn't end. And,
I'll try to keep better track of the questions because there were a lot. And
I got to say, I'm sorry if I didn't interact with the chat. I'm in the middle and I can't really read it, and so. If I join you guys again, I'd love to be more interactive because I'm one of the chat people. So I know how it feels to not get my question answered or acknowledged. So my bad, guys.
So many people in the chat today, by the way, like still over 450. We had over 500 earlier. Like this is the most we've had.
No,
on
people
Around
have
the
come
Felt.
up to me and said so. They like this format the best over
Yeah,
all previous.
maybe people just wanted to hear what we had to say about Armenia Mike, but appreciate it. Like, watch the show every Monday, and we're gonna have different guests, surprise guests. Sometimes we call somebody randomly without them knowing. Who knows who it'll be? And yeah, it'll be fun. And what else? There's something else I was gonna say.
Let me give some shout outs. Shout out to all the Twitch chat. If you're not in Twitch chat, then you're in YouTube chat, and I don't really know you other than C-Bone10. So, Big City Banker, Hell Garvey, everybody, man. Like, you guys are hilarious.
We couldn't do the show without you guys. All you guys that supported us today. Shout out to Nick Vertucci. Shout out to Destin. Shout out to
sorry the donation.
Was the person JJ that called?
JJ was a great call.
Good luck to JJ and Denzak out there in Vegas. I can't wait to be out there for the main event. Damn, there's something else I was gonna say.
Just everyone that called.
There were
in.
donations on Twitch, and they didn't
Oh yeah,
show up
thanks everybody
anyway.
that donated.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't get to them.
So there's something wrong with because I donated on Friday, and it's not popping up on the screen like it normally does.
On Friday, really?
Yeah.
I thought I saw all the things pop up on Friday.
No, you should probably address
All right,
it.
I'll talk to Brian.
Because I know Big City Banker sent a donation today, and we
Well,
didn't
we
see
might not see them because we're watching that.
But no, it didn't come out.
Oh,
when I was-
really?
yeah.
All right. Well, apologies if you donated. We appreciate all the support as always. Oh, the last thing I was going to say is this Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific. That's 2 p.m. Eastern. 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. This Wednesday, I will be on Joey Ingram's podcast, Poker Life podcast. Pretty cool privilege. I made it in life.
For sure.
So check that out and ask questions in the chat, and I'll be talking with Joey.
Cool.
My college followed me, so I made it.
That's all Wayne cares about.
All right,
so
Wayne.
you made it
That's
too,
hilarious.
because you're with us.
Yeah, you're with
Love
us.
you guys. All right.
All right.
It's
See you
fun,
guys.
man.
Have a good night. We'll
Later.
be back tomorrow for the Annie game.